What is going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This isn't a post review. This isn't an extra. This is just a normal live stream for you guys tonight on your Sunday, October 15th. I couldn't figure out the freaking date. 2023, right here on the podcast. I got my guy Loft here. We're just here to talk wrestling. Loft wanted to do an OTB extra. I just said, you know what, let's just get some stories together and let's just talk pro wrestling, man. This is something kind of completely different. I mean, we used to do this kind of thing earlier on in the old OTB episodes and everything like that, but we're kind of bringing this back. I want to bring this back, honestly, for a weekend stream, if anything is at all possible. But man, we're just here to talk wrestling. So how you feeling, man? This has been a crazy week of pro wrestling, and we got stuff to talk about.
I'm ready to talk some shit, man.
How you feeling, brother? What's been your Sunday like today?
Ain't shit. Watching football. Falcons fucking lost, punk ass bitches.
Yeah. I mean, I had to wake my ass up at early ass o'clock to watch the Ravens almost choke the game against the Titans. So there you go.
Some shit, man.
But yeah. You kind of prompted this to talk about the one man, the one and only, the crackhead himself, Mr. Tony Khan. But we will get there. We will definitely get there for sure. Because he needs to, stay off social media. That's for damn sure. But I did get some other storylines together. One of them, especially obviously talking about the Tuesday Night Wars because of NXT and AEW and how it basically brought the worst out of the entire fan base of professional wrestling. And some other goodies here today. So we'll just talk about pro wrestling and see how things go. I see Aiden up here in the chat. What's going on, brother? But yeah, I'll let you talk about whatever you need to talk about when it comes to TK, because I know you got a lot of things to get off your chest.
Most of it I got off my chest. I'm gonna say it again though. I'll figure something else.
If most people saw his video, you would have known what he talked about.
I'll figure something else out. You passed your permit test?
Hey! You're almost legally on the road. Good job.
Dang, shit. I like
you just gotta have a parent with you right now at all times. But hey, there you go.
Congratulations.
Well, not a parent. You just have to have somebody with an actual legal license in the car so you can drive. But there you go. You'll get there. Good stuff. I remember those days, man. I didn't really even get my license though until I was 18.
I still don't have mine.
I was not ready at the age of 16 to get my license. I waited until 18.
Hey, listen. That shit don't matter for real. As long as you get where you're going. Shit.
I was just not ready, man. There was no people in Connecticut can't drive for shit. So that terrified me. And then I didn't really have a car to actually, practice on until my sister allowed me to get her car, which was a Chevy Cruze. I have a Chevy Cruze, so I was like, man, I actually like how this car drives. So I'll go get a Cruze myself, and I got a 2016. She has 2014. So there you go.
God damn.
I've had my I got my car in 2016, and I've had it since.
Oh wait, the car's a 2016?
The car's a 2016. The car's a 2016.
What?
Well, I got my license in 2016. 2016, I was 18 years old.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Oh my god. 2016 is wow. Wow, in 2016. That shit. Whew. Damn.
Dude, you gotta remember I'm 25. So
keep forgetting that shit.
People in Florida can't drive for shit either. Yeah. Well, that's definitely true. Especially wherever you are in Florida, that's even worse. Gonna cause you're gonna cause havoc in the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Be a safe driver. My God. But Laugh. I mean, everything that's been going on in the world of professional wrestling as of this week, it's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. We all know the whole Tuesday Night Wars thing happened. NXT, AEW. AEW had to get preempted to Tuesday night because of the MLB playoffs, and that whole Tuesday Night War thing completely brought the worst out of professional wrestling fans, man.
I was waiting for that shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody was kind of
Yeah.
expecting that to happen, but damn, man. Like, come on.
I just sit back and let it happen, man. I saw one dude, bro. I saw one dude. He was in his car. I feel like you had to see the video. If you didn't see it, I'll show it to you if I can find it. Bro was pissed off. He just said the F word. He was cursing so bad. He was so mad that WWE fans were like yelling at him because of like he was going into a full AEW cape mode. I had never seen some shit like that in my life. He was
Oh, yeah.
pissed.
I didn't see anything on my FYP or any stitches or anything like that, so
It
that's
was on fucking
weird.
X.
Oh, it was on X. Oh, of course. Okay.
I gotta show it to you. I gotta find it. I don't know where it's at, but that man was pissed. It was hilarious. He was mad as shit. But
So yeah. The one thing that many people are really just going on about when it comes down to it is TK. And we all know TK, Tony Khan, the head of creative, the president, the CEO, the many hats that Tony Khan wears in AEW. He just can't seem to freaking shut his mouth whenever it comes to social media, and just he has WWE legitimately rent free in his goddamn head, and people are legitimately exploiting it to the fact that, I mean, this guy is about to be a political nightmare. Well, not a political nightmare, a PR nightmare. If he ever went into politics, my God. But he's a PR nightmare for AEW, and he is legitimately giving all the power in the world to these trolls to use whatever he has to say against him and his company.
you know a funny thing I saw the other day too? Someone said that Vince McMahon would not have acted the same. And I was like,
back in the day, back in the 90s or whatever, if Twitter existed in the 90s, bro, he would have been doing the exact same thing.
Oh my God. Did you ever see the fucking the reports he made about Ted Turner?
Yes.
When
Yes.
Michael was trying to like kill the coffin.
Yes, he would have been doing the exact same thing in the 90s if Twitter was a thing. Don't tell me not.
The shit Vince was doing on TV was fucked. You think he would be doing that shit on Twitter? He would have been
right.
He would have been fucking on Twitter. Literally. What? If Twitter was around when DX was doing their shit like mid war, man,
dude, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
That's why I'm horrified of what Tony's doing, because Tony is. I thought he was a little bit more conscious in his brain about that, but he's acting the same way Vince would have acted in those days, and that's not good, bro. That's not good at all.
Like, I said this on Twitter because, well, I said this on Twitter because I just legitimately needed to get my voice out there when it comes to the whole TK situation. I legitimately said, I know Tony Khan is passionate about his shows, and he should be.
Yeah.
He's building great stories on AEW TV, and if you guys can't see that, I don't know what you've been watching. I mean, the Adam Cole and MJF stuff has been great. The Devil and Jay White stuff has been absolutely fantastic, and we're just getting into the groove when it comes to Adam Copeland and Christian. But that is looking to be one of the most promising stories in AEW right now. Those three main stories are easily some of the best storylines that you should be watching on AEW programming. But stop giving these people what they want, and that is a reaction. You're hurting the image of yourself and AEW's image as a result of it. So simply put, don't give them the ammo to come at you with. And that's just plain and simple. Like, if you don't go as far as you are going on social media, these trolls and the people that are the WWE shills or anything like that can't use shit against you to make you and your company look bad.
Yeah, man. Like, bro, I as much money as much money as Tony Khan has, I can't imagine a scenario in which I would be arguing with people on Twitter if I was a billionaire. I would not even be on Twitter if I was a billionaire.
No.
The amount of money that Tony Khan has, you should not be on Twitter arguing with 25 follower ass accounts. Like, what are you
And,
doing?
and this is the problem with AEW. Kind of, well, AEW is not a publicly traded company like WWE is.
Yeah,
So that is why TK can go on social media and basically say whatever the fuck he wants. Because if it was a publicly traded company like WWE, he wouldn't be able to do this. He'd have to get social media stuff approved by AEW and the AEW social media team and the PR department so that he can be able to send shit out. That is why he is basically able to do this. Because he's
yeah.
basically running everything on his own. But it's going to be a long time, or even if it's ever going to happen, for them to be a publicly traded company. And I don't even know if that's even going to really be a possibility because their relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery is very, very strong. But there's a lot of stuff to get there to be a publicly traded company, from what I know. I mean, WWE wasn't really all that publicly traded up until that recently, or earlier on in the 90s, I believe.
I just don't see why.
What's up, TJ?
Yo, I just don't see why he doesn't like get people like Brian Danielson and Jericho or some of the veterans back there. Shit, Edge, someone back there to help him with creative.
Yeah.
You don't got to do all this shit yourself.
I said this shit since day one. He needs a creative team.
That would be great if he had people to bounce off ideas instead of you doing everything. And now we all know what his storytelling formula is because he's the only one that's been doing it this whole time. You know, I desperately think that this company would be a lot better if Brian was in charge of creative. Because I fully believe that Brian has the highest intentions of AEW in his brain. So he'll be trying to create the biggest shit ever.
And Tony Khan has publicly come out and say that if anything would have ever happened to him, Brian Danielson would be the guy to basically inherit the company. Which is absolutely you can legitimately tell just based on that statement alone how much of a relationship Brian Danielson and Tony Khan have with each other. They have a great amount of respect and relation and like a huge relationship with each other, to the fact that if anything happened to TK, Brian Danielson would have the company.
He needs to take that. Don't take it and say, "Oh, wait until something happens to me." No, do it right now. Do it right now because this shit, you look weird in comparison because Sean is not doing it. Triple H, last time Triple H tweeted, I think was when Bray passed away. I think.
Yeah.
Sean tweets from time to time.
No, Triple H and Jade Cargill.
Oh, yeah.
When that whole thing happened, but yeah.
I would be hard pressed to find a point where Triple H is just arguing with somebody, calling him a bitch on Twitter.
Yeah,
because it doesn't even make. Why are you doing that? like what are you on? You know.
I mean, he retweets stuff that by the WWE account, but this was
Yeah.
basically everything about Jade Cargill and
Yeah.
stuff about NXT. That was his last real tweets about the whole thing. So Tuesday night.
Right. You'll never see him having this discourse with people who obviously don't have his best intentions in mind.
Yeah, no, he doesn't really reply to people.
Because you don't have to.
No.
The wall, you know. Tony's fucking that shit up, and like, I don't think that AEW is in the field the way they need to be, and I mean what I mean by that is like the reason why WWE is such a fucking marketable company is because they not only taken out of the fact that they've been here for forever. they appeal to the casual fan. I think
Right.
AEW has only appealed to AEW fans.
The thing that WWE does so well is that they appeal to all audiences on the
Yeah,
entertainment side of things and on the professional wrestling side of things. AEW has one core audience, and that is hardcore professional wrestling fans that love Spot Fest or that loves, just professional wrestling and the style that AEW does it in. They need to get more of the casual fans a part of their everyday audience. That way they can appeal to more people in the market.
oh shit, they fighting.
But that's easier said than done. And what he's talking about, guys, is Sunday Night Football. But but yeah, but that's easier said than done though, because normally, I mean, you'd have to get a lot of stuff going when it comes to the casual audience to keep their attention span acclimated, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, it's just like I I have the same when I make the comparisons with AEW with like the last years of TNA and then the last years of WCW. I'm not saying that just to be fucking around.
Right. Yep.
When these things
No.
are happening in this vicious circle and it looks exactly the same,
Yeah.
that I don't want them to become those two companies. That's idiotic. But at the same time, you have things going on that shouldn't be happening. You
But
know, and he shouldn't. AEW needs to market their personalities more.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on the Good Morning Americans and shit. Like I saw MJF did the whole thing with Robert Kraft. He's the
MJM.
worst, so cool.
The one person that I really get to see usually on those, like, like the morning talk shows or anything like that, whenever it comes down to it, has been this MJF stuff.
Yeah,
MJF has been doing some of the, well, he's been doing the most appearances I've ever really seen of an AEW champion,
yeah.
to be completely fair. And MJF, at the end of the day, whether he's going to be this babyface character or this prick-like character that we are used to seeing him in, this is your workhorse in that company to say, hey, look, I'm going to put my name out there. I'm going to be in these appearances, whether anybody really cares for me or not. That's one thing, but I'm going to be part of the company and I'm going to put the company out there on my back.
Yeah.
That's somebody I at least want to get behind when it comes to MJF. Not really other many people in AEW, I feel, do that. Or at least to my knowledge.
That's what I'm saying. That everyone knows what WWE is because you have radio commercials, you have regular commercials, you have
Yeah.
fucking Good Morning America radio shows on YouTube. They market everyone everywhere.
Almost
In
every
25
pay-per-view, you have a world champion or women's champion on one of those good morning shows before the pay-per-view starts.
yeah. Cody was doing media. Cody's doing media for 40 now.
Yeah.
He was here months ago doing media. And I'm like, what the fuck is
He
he
was
doing?
in the stadium and he was just talking WrestleMania.
They put him in the field immediately. It's like, bro, Tony Khan has the money to put these resources in for Hikaru Shida to be marketing AEW somewhere and for
Yeah.
fucking Christian to be marketing somewhere. And it's
Chris Statlander. I mean, she's one of the
Yeah.
best. She's one of the best women's wrestlers that they got, and one of
There's
the
a
most.
personality,
Yeah.
Athena, damn near the best women's wrestler in the fucking world right now.
That they have, and they don't even get to, and we don't even get to see her on AEW programming because she's stuck on Ring of Honor.
They need a mark. Maybe this is just the early years of the fact that they don't have a marketing team. Cool, but at the same time, we cannot play the same. We can't play two different cards with AEW. We can't play.
Yeah.
They're fucking awesome, best, but they're also a young team. So anytime they do something wrong, it's because they're young. No, we have to keep it level. You know what I'm saying?
Their age is not an excuse anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Plain and simple.
They just did Wembley.
They did Wembley. Now the attendance is still up in the air for whatever reason, but I don't even give a shit about that anymore. But like they did Wembley. They did freaking Wembley. And
Like, come on.
They did amazing over there. Whether anybody really wants to believe that or not, they did.
Absolutely. You know?
Their age of them being a 4-year-old company is not an excuse anymore. So they just need to get their stuff together. And I do believe that they can. It's just they got to put their shit in gear and get things back on track. Now, when it comes to the ratings, I don't give a shit about the ratings, and I know you don't give a shit about them either. But many people, in the eyes of the professional wrestling, landscape of like the fans and everything like that, they give so much weight to these ratings that let's just talk about the Tuesday Night Wars, for example. NXT got 929,000 viewers, which I believe like a 0.39, like a 0.28 in the demographic or whatever for the rating. And then AEW Dynamite got a 609,000 viewers with like a 0.26. So the 0.26 compared to the 0.28, that's not bad for the actual demographic side of things, but the viewers were drastically down. I don't give a shit about the viewers. I know you don't give a shit about the viewers, but with Tony Khan being behind the 8 ball already because he was not programmed on that normal night like he usually is, and with WWE stacking the deck when it comes to John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman, Asuka, Becky, Dom, everybody and their mother from Monday Night Raw showing up. This win for NXT, it's kind of like what's really going on there? And again, I know we don't give a shit about the ratings, but what's going on with that?
This is the only thing I've seen. AEW to me in that war, they acted like the little kid that says they want to fight, and then when they get punched in their mouth too hard, they say they want to fight anymore. That's how I imagine them, because that's what Tony Khan was talking shit all week.
Well, he talked shit all day about like, all right, watch AEW, all this kind of stuff, and you should be, promoting your show and all that kind of stuff. But you don't need to do it every single goddamn day, calling everybody a bald bitch, and then doing things like that.
He got hit in his mouth too hard. He was talking shit, and I see that happens all the time. You got the little kid, the little rich kid, talking shit, and someone said, "Shut the fuck up, Nick," and he started crying. We can't. There's no playing fair now. We all know that they don't like each other. So now there's no.
We all know that WWE looks at them as competition, and AEW looks at WWE as competition. They're competition. It's okay.
So Triple H is showing, fuck them. Fuck them. They're not trying to sit there and play these games. If Tony wasn't talking shit, then maybe he would have taken it better. But since you were talking shit and you lost, you look stupid, bro. That's not our fault. It's yours. You went into a losing battle that TNA already lost, that WCW already lost. Stop fighting these niggas. You can't keep fighting people.
Tony Khan, they both of these shows took two completely different approaches here. And we know this. We know that they took two different approaches here. WWE went out and brought people in that made you want to watch their product. Guys like John Cena, guys like Cody Rhodes, guys like, women like Asuka, Becky, all that kind of stuff. They made you watch the product based on the name value that these people have, along with the other people that were obviously a part of the actual NXT roster, but they brought these guys in for that. Yeah. And Tony Khan and AEW, they just put on great professional wrestling with the storyline progressions of everything that was going on, and they, progress the storylines heading into full year, and they just allowed themselves to really just go things based on storytelling, which is cool. Now, NXT is their third brand, them being WWE. And AEW is, AEW Dynamite is AEW's A show. So they have to really focus on the storylines and the actual great professional wrestling and all that kind of stuff for ratings and the viewership for the actual networks and everything like that. They have to worry about that. NXT, they could do this for 1 week and then come back on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and be right back where they left off in terms of story, because their pay-per-view is until like December, I think. So it's like just 1 week isn't really going to hurt them all that much in terms of story. Like, am I wrong for saying that? I mean, like, it's not really all going to be. It's not really going to be hurting them all that much because they got so much more time. AEW, they have to worry about that kind of stuff.
That's why you don't play with this shit.
Right.
That's why you can't play with this, because
Yeah.
you keep instigating these wars against someone that you can't fight. You're going to lose bad, and we could have all predicted that. But Tony Khan was being so arrogant. He thought this shit was 2019. This shit is not 2019 anymore. I think
Yeah, no,
the main reason why NXT and AEW beat NXT in the first place is because I think NXT was trying their hardest to be what AEW is. They were more focused on that professional wrestling aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Where NXT is at now, I think they found the perfect split. That's why one day we're going to have a conversation about Black and Gold versus current NXT, but not today. Well, maybe today. I don't know, but I'll talk about it whenever the fuck. But
I would love to talk about that because I thought NXT Black and Gold was one of the best eras of all of NXT, but this era right now in terms of NXT is easily becoming one of my favorites too. I mean, it's a different type of era and it was a different type of landscape for sure, but man, you can talk about that all day.
AEW and NXT, the first generation, 2019 Black and Gold, that was a fair fight.
Yeah.
You can't fight this version of NXT because they have different intentions now. Yeah. This is no longer the NXT that Triple H was creating of making a WWE subsection of independent professional wrestling. That's what Black and Gold was. That's why it was so fucking out of this world, because it wasn't what Raw and SmackDown were. And it was the best professional wrestling they had in the world at the point. AEW came in and started doing it better with different people, so they brought it. They changed the market.
Well, they had so much bigger. Well, I wouldn't say so much bigger stars, AEW compared to NXT Black and Gold, but I mean they had guys like Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam, and Paisley Young Bucks. I mean they had people that you want to watch on a Wednesday night, and then
the excitement.
Yeah,
they built the excitement with the all in shows. You know.
Yeah, it was a new and exciting thing, and people wanted to see what was going on. NXT. This is the most story-driven and character development type of NXT that I have personally ever seen. NXT Black and Gold. I mean, we had stories, but and there were some of the most storyline, and there were some of the best storylines that WWE's ever produced at that time. I mean, look at Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, for example. But in terms of character development, this version of NXT right now trumps what Black and Gold was doing.
That's something they're making people. Los Lotharios were on SmackDown doing kissing gimmicks and just doing whatever. They have a whole new character and a new. They made a whole new story about their family, and now they repackaged them, and now they look serious. They're making people care about Von Wagner.
Yeah,
they're building stories around people who we shouldn't give a fuck about. But Shawn Michaels and whoever's helping them.
I remember when we were talking about, put the lotion in the basket for Von Wagner and all that kind of stuff. We made this whole running joke about Von Wagner, and that is actually one of the most intriguing things when it comes to Braun Breaker and Von, because Braun killed the man.
We had Braun Breaker, who was a super mega face by Vince McMahon. They turned him heel, and now he is more vicious than he ever has been.
Well, that heel turn legitimately saved Braun Breaker's career. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I mean, it's insane. Now I want to talk to you in a theoretical sense. Theoretically, let's say if NXT didn't do what they did on Tuesday, right? And what I mean by that is by loading it up with the shows like John Cena, Cody Rhodes, all that kind of stuff. Let's say if they did not have those names a part of the show. And again, we don't give a shit about the actual numbers of the ratings and everything like that, but I do want to bring you guys these points and questions because it is something that we should be talking about. Would it have made a difference in terms of the audience would have been more a bit of a more split decision between NXT and AEW, or does it even really matter? Because at the end of the day, the future buyers for NXT wanted to see if it was going to be a entity that would be somewhat of a plausible choice to be bought in terms of a service, because we all know those TV right deals are coming up very soon.
It would have been a closer fight, but NXT would have won still. I think, just because I think NXT has a level of excitement that no North American wrestling company has at the moment. I think Dynamite, SmackDown, and Raw, even though Raw and SmackDown are starting to make their way up, but they're still
SmackDown right now to me is still the worst out of the two. I'm picking
very well.
Raw. I'm picking Raw over SmackDown right now, personally.
I'm slightly there. I don't even know yet, but it's like
it's just the 3 hours to me.
Man, we watch Raw and Dynamite and shit like that off of habit.
Yeah.
I forget who I was watching earlier, and they said hope and habit. I think it was Solomon Monster who I was watching earlier. I think he said we took someone said that shit. I was watching some podcast and he said we turned into
it's probably Solomon Monster. Solomon Monster would probably say something like that. By the way, shout out to Jason. Jason's great.
It's like fucking hoping we turn into that shit, hoping that it's gonna be good this week, and habit because we've been watching it for our entire lives.
Yeah.
I don't think Dynamite's at that point yet. NXT has found a way to make every show exciting just because they have that level of unpredictability that Black and Gold had. So when you mix that with great character work, plus everything else that NXT has going for you, whether that's professional wrestling or not, like the actual act of wrestling, or if that's just the characters or the theme songs, or you think all the women are pretty. I don't know. It's very stupid, but whatever gets the people to watch. And I think while oh my god, I think it's something it always can be so one dimensional as I watch NXT because of the girls, or I watch NXT because of whatever. That is something that while I don't really agree with that, and why you shouldn't be really watching for those reasons, I think there's much more to wrestling than just how attractive each person is on the show. And that why that's always going to be an aspect of it, because that's just what entertainment is.
Yeah.
NXT has that, plus the wrestling, plus the character development, plus the time slot. They have so much stuff working for them. And when you add with that, now we have John Cena on the show. Now we have Undertaker, possibly. When you add that other stuff, you're not gonna win anyway. So Dynamite, in Tony Khan's worst nightmare, I fully believe that in 2024, all of the shows for WWE are gonna slide down the week. Just I don't think we're getting. I think Monday. I think Raw is changing. I think NXT is gonna be going back to Wednesdays. I really think SmackDown's going to leave Fridays. I hope not.
We're going to talk about that too, because I have an entire thing that we're going to have Monday Night Raw. I think Monday Night Raw is going to be I think Monday Night Raw has to stay, because that's legitimately a staple. Everybody knows what Monday Night Raw is. I think AEW, no. I think SmackDown is moving to Tuesdays. I truly believe that. I think SmackDown is moving to Tuesdays. And then NXT, I truly believe NXT is going to go back to Wednesday nights, and we're going to be getting this every single week again. Because, I mean, dude, if it legitimately does happen in that way, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for everybody involved, because now everybody's going to be doing the things. But I want to talk to you guys about the media rights, because NXT, from what I know, is being packaged with Monday Night Raw. So, with everything that is going on with this, but the way that they did the way that they laid out NXT with the main roster superstars, I truly believe that with all of that and the actual mindset that they had going in with NXT, I think what WWE was basically just trying to prove is that NXT is a viable entity for them to buy, so that whenever they do package it with Monday Night Raw, they're going to be able to get that show in gear and be able to get that bought for the media rights. I mean, it's a very viable entity worth buying. Um, it's just a matter of what they do whenever it comes down to who's going to buy it and what are they going to do with it, you know? Um,
Yeah.
but um, but now I want to ask you guys this, because with the whole media rights situation, could the buyers look at NXT and the ratings that happened on Tuesday, and let's say NBC Universal buys it and everything's all under the USA Network? If we go to this coming Tuesday, and from what I know, the only person that is coming from last week's show is Cody.
Mm.
Let's say if we're back in like the sevens, or God forbid into sixes, for 600,000 people or whatever. Could when we look at the whole thing and the media people saying, "Hey, what happened?" I mean, we were supposed to be getting these numbers back in October 10th of 2023, and we're not even getting anywhere close to that now. Did you kind of just like rip us off or whatever because of an NXT product that isn't technically worth buying, or is it really going to be mattering at the end of the day? Because I mean, NXT is going to be a great show regardless. Is
Um,
WWE just going to just put on this show, one great show here, and they're like, "Oh yeah, now we got you because now you want this product, and now we're going to be going back to the way things used to be."
no, I think that that's something that they have to explain when they're in these negotiations. Like, hey, we may not pull 900,000 every week. We did that because our we had some fucking Hall of Famers on the show. You know what I'm saying? That's something that has to be
The
communicated.
Undertaker's not showing up every week.
Yeah, they have to communicate. So you don't have these companies thinking that they're gonna pull damn near 1 million every week. No, they're not. You have to just let them know that you can't go in there with false pretenses. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
yeah, but it just I think that's a communication kind of thing. I think that's just something you have to say. That's a part of the negotiation process. That we can do this if we really need it, we can. But we don't really use this trap card. We have the trap card. That's the whole point. If y'all play Yu-Gi-Oh, you can have the trap card the whole time. You're not supposed to use it all the time. That's the purpose of
no,
having it. You use
yeah,
it when you absolutely need to, because then it fucks everything up. So you don't. What we say, we have this card here. We have our Hall of Famer card. We can make a phone call and we can call 8 fucking Hall of Famers here. But we don't do that because they don't wrestle anymore. And we're trying to focus on this show being a developmental slash third brand. So, you know,
I want to switch gears to the actual NXT show, because I thought NXT on Tuesday was absolutely fantastic. I do.
mhm.
Um, what were some of your biggest takeaways from NXT on Tuesday? Because there were a lot of takeaways that I took when it came down to it. I mean, with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, I think that was an absolute takeaway that I think everybody should be talking about. The Brian Pillman Jr. vignette, I think that was absolutely very well done, and that was insane. Um, and yeah, man, how'd you feel about the NXT product as a whole? And what were some of your biggest takeaways from the show?
um, Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes has the possibility of being the Cena and Orton of the next generation.
I can see
And
that.
I love both of them, so I will watch them wrestle. If that turns into the Roman and Brock stuff, I listen. Don't do it as much, but fuck,
Yeah.
I love that both of them are fucking excellent, and both of them have a insane career ahead of them. Both of them WrestleMania main eventers. I don't know how WWE hit two gold mines, both of them, but fuck. Um,
Well,
I love
well,
what the women's division is doing
yeah,
as far as the tournament stuff. I get hype every time there's a breakout tournament because I love that fact that
yeah.
Shawn Michaels is taking
I
um
can't, I can't wait how they do the Dusty Classic this year.
oh
That's
that's
gonna
that's
be
crazy too.
awesome.
Is it I think the women's division throws me off too because I remember when they first unveiled the Next in Line program, and I was heated because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
That shit might have been one of the best decisions
It,
I've ever seen made ever. Because that shit is they did it with so many people.
right. Yeah. It's still kind of a hit or miss for me at times whenever it does come down to it. Um, Most of the people that have come out of that program so far have been really, really good and have been really impressive, to be saying the least. Um,
You have your duds in there
but
like Gable Steveson and shit like that, but I mean,
right. Um, but I would kind of still like to see at least somebody in NXT to at least look in some of the independent scenes, because some of the independents that are going on right now in the world of pro wrestling hold some of the best pro wrestlers that they got going on that
yeah,
that many people don't really get to see all that often, Give some of these independent wrestlers some shots, and you're going to be able to find some people that are going to be able to get some people being noticed. I mean, dude, I'm biased towards this one person, but I don't know if you even heard of this guy, but Mike Skyros. Look him up.
hmm.
He is absolutely fantastic at what he does. He's known as the Moonlight Sun. He is an intense in-ring competitor that is going to be going somewhere. It's honestly inevitable that this man is going to be going somewhere, whether that be Impact, whether that be AEW, whether that be WWE. People need to look out for that guy, because Mike Skyros, that man is onto something. WWE does need to look more into the independent scene, but that NIL program, it's done some wonders. It's just they don't always need to go directly to that every single time to me. That's
It's
just me
just
though.
that's the thing. Like there's so many fucking wrestlers out there that like you got the Encore Moores of the world who if
Encore
you
more.
put him on NXT, holy fuck. You don't
Encore more. Those
you
two right
have
there, Encore and Mike Skyros, would be
I don't
insane.
know. I don't know how WWE's not because he's been on like AEW. He's been on WWE for like I believe he was at SmackDown a while ago. Um, so
He's been on Dark and everything like
yeah,
that for AEW.
so
Like, he's
they
been
see him.
shown.
He's gold in
Yeah,
a box, and you're
yeah.
just like he's over there. You got fucking the people over in fucking DPW. Holy fuck! You
GYV, Grizzled Young
got,
Veterans, just showed up in DPW
yeah,
today.
you got Calvin Tankman in DPW. You got
Well,
fucking oh
WWE is not going to look towards GYV because they just fired them. But
yeah
you get what I mean. I mean,
yeah.
like, still, they're all there right there. I mean, like, dude, they got so many great people on the independent scene. Look at those guys, because those guys are some of the best pro wrestlers in the world right now, or at least underrated pro wrestlers that we could see in the world right now. It's insane. But I want to talk. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
oh,
Yeah,
it's just like I'm biased towards certain people because I figured out that just by watching other wrestling companies and just
right.
go to different wrestling shows, you find people that you gravitate to that you
I've
don't
gone.
get to see on TV. You
I've
know what I'm
gone to
saying?
so many test of strength pro wrestling shows here in CT that Mike Skyros basically is a part of. Now,
Yeah.
of course, I'm going to be biased towards Mike Skyros and him wanting to get a shot in WWE, AEW, what have you, because he's that damn good. I've talked to him so many times. He should be on a pro wrestling company somewhere, but they're just not looking, and I don't understand why.
Bro, Lark and Danielle, I love her so much. I talked to her a few days ago. I want her to be on NXT. She was on SmackDown when Los Lotharios were first coming out, and she was one of the people that they kissed in the crowd.
Oh no, no, Lorcan, right? Lorcan,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love her because she has a thing. She has a whole. I love when the superstars are in independent wrestling, but they have a gimmick that
They
is
have
packed.
something that is there and that works and that it
Yeah.
gets people inside, like gets
So
people inside the minds.
wherever they go, all you gotta do is
Capitalize on
say
it.
you did. You don't gotta.
Cap,
You don't have to write anything. Just do what you
here,
were doing
here's the
yesterday.
thing.
You know.
Don't fix what ain't broken. If they have
Yeah.
something that works, use it to your advantage and get them on TV.
That I think that's why people like even that this conversation changes when you bring up her, but that's why Jade Cargill is going to be beyond the level that she was in AEW
Because,
because her character is built for that company,
well,
so
and
they
here's the thing.
know how to do it.
And here's also the thing. What did Vince McMahon do when it came down to Cody Rhodes? He
The
flew
exact same thing.
to his house and he said, I'm not changing a damn thing. I am buying this. I am buying the American Nightmare because of what you built. The
Yeah,
intellectual property of the American Nightmare just switched brands from AEW to WWE. That's it. And that's exactly what's going to be happening with Jade Cargill, too. Jade Cargill is Jade Cargill. You're not going to fix what ain't broken over there. So you're bringing the intellectual property of Jade Cargill to WWE. Don't fix what ain't broken. Now, I don't know if she's going to have the same music. She basically has the same attire and everything like that. She's Jade Cargill on WWE TV, from what we have seen so far.
they don't give her.
She's just got to get better in the ring, and that's why she's in the PC right now. That's it.
And at
And
the
she's not even
end,
that bad in the ring. It's just they're just polishing up.
and that's the thing. I you have people who you got there's so many freaking people I follow on Instagram that are like world class sprinters and
Yeah,
gymnasts and basketball
yeah.
players, and you bring
Well,
them over to WWE and they learn in like 4 months.
the NXT recruiting page on Instagram is a great place.
Bro, I'm sitting there looking at this. I'm like, okay, I'm going through. I'm like, okay, who? Some of these guys had to have like some wrestling experience. No, they didn't. No, they
No,
did not.
no.
They're just
A
super.
lot of them don't. They're just super athletic.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, let's teach you how to wrestle now. And for some reason, whatever they're doing in the PC is
They
turning
just get
people
it.
like Bianca fucking Belair. Bianca Belair was not just running the independent scene.
No,
She's just a
no.
super athlete. And they were like,
Yeah.
all right, we can make you into something. And they
Thank you,
did.
Mark Henry. Big shout out to Mark Henry, who was the one that got her into the PC to begin with. So shout out to Mark Henry for
For
Bianca.
real, man.
But
This is crazy, man.
But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely been insane. Now, I wouldn't say that these PC people are at the level of Bianca Belair yet. I mean, they got a lot. I mean, dude, come on, they got to go through developmental to even go through Bianca Belair. But, but
That's
but they
the
have the
level.
potential. They have the potential to get there.
Yeah. And potential is all
I'll
you
go
need
there.
in a system. When you have a
I'll go
system
there.
that's what I'm saying. You have
I'm not
potential.
saying they're Bianca Belair yet, though.
Even so, you got people like fucking Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
You have
no,
people like
yeah,
Tiffany Stratton over there
for
who
sure, for sure.
is I don't think Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair are that much different in physique and wrestling style and athleticism. They're not. And both of them
And,
have had the same kind of upbringing as far as they brought them in to say, you didn't do this before, but now you're going to try to do this now. And
And
now
she's only been doing it for 4 years. Her being Tiffany Stratton.
and you can't even tell.
Yeah.
So Jade has experience. She just came from AEW. You don't have to like her wrestling style. You could think she's green all you want. She ain't gonna be green for that much longer. If you think she's
Yeah.
green, that green gonna change really quick. If what they did with people who never wrestled before, they
And
did that.
and
Imagine what
Jay's been doing it for 2. She debuted in 2021.
that's what I'm saying.
So she'll be able to get things polished up real quick. It's just they're working on it. And they'll get there.
That's why she's not in the ring. That's why they didn't just throw her in there. They said we're gonna make her the most important thing you can think of. And so, that's it. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about something. I've seen people preheating the hate on Jade on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok.
Oh, dude, you should have known that was gonna happen.
But no, bro. Same with Trick. Exactly. Trick Williams improved so much, and niggas don't talk about it. He
Well,
improved
yeah. Oh
10
my
times
god,
over.
yeah. Oh my
Fuck.
god, yeah.
But yo, they preheating the hate on Jade because they're trying to say, I guess, that the way that they're advertising Jade is that she is going to pre. That's what bro. It was crazy. I was at work watching this shit. It was nuts. I watched like 10 videos of the same shit. They are saying that Jade is going to fall into the same line as Charlotte as the company just giving Jade title shots at every twist and turn.
I don't see that at all.
Now, in Austin Theory, I'm gonna say that it does look like that from the outside. I don't see it that way, but I can see how someone says that. So I'm not immediately angry at that statement. My thing is preheating the fact that you are waiting for us to turn on her because she's acting like someone who we already know that gets the special treatment. We already know that Charlotte Flair gets the treatment because she's Ric Flair's daughter. Her being a great wrestler also helps with that. I don't like Charlotte Flair, but I'm not going to act like she's a bad wrestler. You know what I'm saying? It's in her blood. It's very hard for her not to be.
It would be stupid of us to try to prove that she's not a good wrestler.
like her or not, she's fucking excellent at what she does. So
yeah,
when you go and put that into there, yes, Charlotte, I don't like the way she just walks into fucking title shots. I don't like it at all. Well, she gets one next week for no reason. For no reason. She got pinned and she gets a title shot next week. I don't get it.
She didn't. She did not get pinned. Well, wait. She did get pinned.
Did she?
Well, she did. Well, yeah. She did get pinned, but yeah, they did the whole thing because of the whole tap out before. Yeah, but yeah, I understand.
Magnus was like, Magnus saw she got pinned and said, "Nah, title shot next week." Whatever. We know that's what Charlotte is, but no, I can't get mad at anymore. It's just fuck shit, but we know. I don't think Jay is gonna get that. I do think that there's a
she is gonna get pushed to the moon.
Yeah. We all Triple H said it at the press conference. He literally said it. We're gonna scrap the rocket on her. So he said that verbatim. So we already know that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But at the same thing, with saying that all of that as well, you cannot put what they did, what they are doing to Charlotte. You cannot put that on Jade before she's ever done a fucking collar and elbow tie up on Raw, SmackDown, NXT yet.
You can't project that onto Jade before she even stepped foot in a ring. She hasn't even been here for a cup of coffee.
And I think that is the people who, in the back of their heads, are very angry that Jade left AEW in the first place. And Aiden just said it. They've been waiting for us to turn on Cody since before the Roman match.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for us to start booing Cody.
People were preheating the Cody hate 2 months into his, comeback of WWE.
Oh, the people who were mad that he kept beating Rollins? Holy fuck. Oh,
yeah.
They were ready.
Yeah.
They were ready for us to get mad.
And I'm not even saying that because of my fandom of Cody. They legitimately were doing that. People were burning his shirts.
They were pissed.
People were burning his shirts from AEW because he was a traitor. He was a turncoat. He was this. He was that. Bro.
And it's funny because I saw so many people tell, "Oh, everyone's Jade Cargill fans now." No, y'all ran her through the ground while she was in AEW. Y'all made her a fucking the brunt of your jokes.
Yeah.
Y'all made her the butt of a joke every single time she went in that ring because you didn't like the TBS title run, or you thought she was green, or this or that. You didn't like this, you didn't like that. Fuck, who gives a fuck? You cannot go and say now she's in a different company and just say that all that shit's going to carry over when it's obvious they are preparing Jade to be bigger than she ever was ever.
Yeah.
Because they're already presenting her like that.
Dude,
they just throw titles at her. They're just going to make her an important figure because she's had it there the whole time, but AEW just couldn't unlock it, and that's okay.
They had her on NXT. They had her on the season premiere Friday SmackDown. They're going to probably show her on Monday for Monday Night Raw, and they are going to be presenting her in the way that WWE is going to be allowing her to be presented in. And the thing is, guys, I'm telling you guys this right now, and I said this in my video. If you guys have not seen this yet, go check it out. Love, they are not, I repeat, are not going to put Jade Cargill in the ring with Charlotte Flair right off the bat.
Oh,
They're
no.
not. They're not. They did that. They did what they did with the face-to-face to Charlotte Flair on Friday so that we can keep Jade Cargill in our minds and us keep talking about her so that she does not get lost or, get put to the wayside. I mean, she's Jade Cargill. We were never probably going to do that anyway. But it was smart by WWE to put her on WWE programming so that when that match does eventually happen, it's going to mean something and it's going to be important and it's going to be big. So it was smart by WWE to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to put her there right off the bat, but they will. And when it does happen, it'll be meaningful and it'll be something special.
And Devin, I disagree with that only because I don't want to see Bailey lose any more matches. It's a great feud. I'm not mad at the feud. I'm just mad at Bailey's gonna lose another match.
Bailey would do the job and do the job well.
Absolutely.
But I don't think that should be the first feud because at the end of the day, I don't think it's not the right time for her to go after a 4-horsewoman of WWE. You don't have to go over to a 4-horsewoman right off the bat. Because the 3 that are there right now, the 3 out of the 4, shout out to Mercedes. Because the 3 out of the 4, you gotta get there, but at your own time and at your own pace. Because those 3 are proven entities of the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just do it right off the bat. But
they treat Bailey like the fucking ugly stepsister. So
yeah.
They don't treat her well. They need to treat her better,
Statistically wise, and the way that she's been presented, she's the worst out of the 3 that are there, which is completely not the case. But you would think that. And yes, Devin, you did say it's understandable, and it would be entertaining. It would be entertaining for sure. You just can't get there yet because you would be putting her behind the 8 ball, and you don't want that yet. You want her to prove herself. So, we were talking about NXT, and then we went to Jade Cargill. But I want to talk to you about what was I talking about when it came down? Oh, the takeaways from NXT. I want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you about Brian Pillman Jr. I thought that entire segment, that vignette, that promo that he did or whatever, I thought that was very, very well done. And it just shows that the machine over there in WWE is made to be building superstars. And Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be a superstar within the landscape of NXT. And he's going to mean a lot to that company. He will. BPJ is going to be something in NXT. And I can't wait for that to actually happen when he does make his debut. Whenever he does.
They gave him the Lexus King name. The name is hard. The promo.
You like the name?
I love the name.
You like the name?
I think it's short, sweet, to the point. He's not living off of he's not. I'm gonna go back to Charlotte. He's not just using the last name of his family. He's completely separating himself from his dad. I think that's very bold to do, but I like the way they're doing it. It's adding a level of storytelling to his character before he's even come out.
Yeah.
It's giving him motive. It's giving.
And if you know the meanings of the name Lexus King, you know it. I think it's his sister and his mother. I think.
Yeah, I believe his sister passed away. I think that's what he's using, the first name.
Lexus is his sister, I think, and then King, I believe, is the maiden name of his mom or something. I don't know, something like that.
I thought he said King was the name of the person who actually raised him, because Brian Pillman was around for like the upgrades.
It could have been. I just know the Alexis thing is his sister.
Yeah,
Um,
but even so,
but even that,
even that is like that's great storytelling within the name. And now you have to go with now you got to go through theme song. Now you got to go through what's happening on TV. You have interest already. That's why NXT
yeah,
is so good at bringing in people. That's why Jade should go. King Steph, okay, I knew I read that somewhere, but
King's the stepfather. Okay,
that's
yeah.
why people like Jade need to be in NXT because you bring Pillman in, and he immediately separates himself from everything that you've already known from his dad.
I feel like Brian Pillman Jr. You know how like there's gonna be like I don't know how you would explain it, but like one of these somebody's gonna have to get called up from this generation of NXT. The
Mm-hmm.
next generation could be that Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah,
It's like whoever gets that called up or whatever, he slides right into that spot, or potentially could be. I mean, you gotta work to that, but still, you know,
yeah. And
it,
NXT has too much time on their hands, and I'm not saying that in a bad thing. I'm saying that they have a gold mine of superstars. Imagine the people who are going to come in the breakout tournament because they're doing a men's breakout tournament after the women's tournament is over.
yeah.
Imagine what they're going to do with that. You
Eh,
have people over
he
there.
would have to be in that, right? I mean,
I hope so. I don't want to see him until that breakout tournament. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to see
yeah,
him wrestle that breakout tournament. I think he's running live shows. I think he's working live shows in Florida at the moment.
yeah.
Just around when they do like
Well, you got to get him some reps.
yeah. But on TV, I don't think you show him until the fucking breakout tournament, and you make him super important immediately because that's just what NXT is very good at. I didn't care this much about Brian Pillman. I've never watched a Brian Pillman Jr. match to this day. I haven't. I'm gonna
He's
watch when he.
incredible. He is
I
absolutely
imagine
incredible.
he is. It's been my fault
He,
for not watching it,
he
but
is just like his goddamn father.
I watched his dad wrestle, so that's the same thing.
He
Then
is just like his goddamn father. I mean, he was severely underutilized in the Hollywood Blondes. Severely underutilized in the Hollywood Blondes, and he
that's what
was
he was
with
doing.
he was with Griff Garrison.
That's what okay. I remember that. I remember that.
He was with
I
Griff. He was with Griff Garrison and the cheerleader Julia Hart.
I remember that. Okay. I never watched the match, but I remember them coming out. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, they were severely underutilized, and that tag team was really good too. It's just they didn't use them all that much. They were basically on dark the whole time.
Yeah, but they have something very special with him, and they do not have to. They don't have to just say, "Oh, he's Brian Pillman's son," because they probably will never advertise Brian Pillman's name on
Well,
TV a
no,
lot.
they'll never say his name. That's why they had to change the name.
You know, but now you can use what people like. We already know of his dad, so we can use that plus of what they're showing with us, and now we have a different level of story that they're not even telling us about, but it's already insinuated.
Yeah.
It's genius, man. I'm excited. I really am.
And one final thing I want to bring up when it comes to that is John Cena and The Undertaker. They completely endorsed two of the most they completely endorsed the two major players within NXT and Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, and they are made men because of it. Completely made men. You saw Carmelo Hayes doing the Undertaker arm thing, and he was so freaking hyped after that because he was like, man, that was the best night of his entire career. Easily.
So happy.
And Braun Breaker getting chokeslammed by the Undertaker. I saw so many people on social media saying, "Oh my god, they completely buried Braun Breaker." How are you burying Braun Breaker?
What? That was not a burial.
You can't bury Braun Breaker. He was in with one of the most legendary people of all time. Like,
I'm saying, like, what are you talking?
It was not a burial by any means, but dude, they completely, endorse these two, and they are going to be made men for years to come. It's insane. I absolutely love it.
I was astonished when I saw people actually standing on the fact. Yeet, what's up, Tyler? I was
He
I was I was astonished that people were telling me that him being chokeslammed by Undertaker on Braun Breaker's show, mind you, was a
is a
burial
burial.
of Braun. Undertaker's not going to be there every week. This wasn't a match.
No,
He didn't.
nobody uses the word bury any like in the correct sense anyway. But
They just
still,
say it. They just
yeah, they
it's like
just
mid about the words bury and mid have plagued
should be abolished from the pro wrestling dictionary.
bury and mid. They just say mid for stupid shit, and they just say bury every time a wrestler trips and falls. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That
it,
might have been the biggest. I'm gonna stand on this. I think the Undertaker chokeslam might have been a bigger endorsement than Vince just putting everything into him as soon as 2.0 started. I think that was a bigger endorsement because Undertaker
yeah.
is one of the gatekeepers for the good old days, as the
Well,
people old would say.
I,
If
I I
Undertaker,
said I've said this to you openly so many times when they
yeah,
made Braun Breaker legitimately wear the colors of the NXT logo in the paintball
bro,
onesie. That I knew right then and there he was gonna be the poster boy, and it was gonna be a completely not a complete waste of time, but it was downhill from there. They had to change something, and thank God they did. But yeah, I told you right from the start, that's not gonna be
yeah.
good. That's not gonna be good, dude.
The fact that Undertaker and John Cena, two of the greatest of all time, wherever you put them on your list, they're both they got to be on your Mount Rushmore. Undertaker and Cena. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. The fact that the two of them endorsed Mello and Braun for possibly being the next generation of the Mount Rushmore for our kids, that is fucking insane.
Right. Yep.
And they haven't been to the main roster. Mello and Braun have gotten little to no like real acknowledgement on the main shows. Braun a little bit more than Mello. Mello has had interactions with the World Heavyweight Champion. Braun
Hmm.
Breaker had a match with the World Heavyweight Champion. They
Hmm.
teased one with Mello.
Hmm.
They teased them. They teased Mello and Roman. You have Braun out there fucking. I, I don't. You have
Now,
so Braun beat Dolph.
yeah. Well,
Dolph is
yeah.
Dolph is one of the most. He's one of the long tenured superstars. He was. Well, even still now, fuck it. Dolph was one
No,
of those.
he'll still be in the world of pro wrestling.
Yeah,
I hope so at least.
I'm saying for WWE, Dolph is one of those. He's one of those. I think he's one of those pillars. I think this
Oh
has a
yeah.
lot of pillars. But
Yeah.
Brian went out there on a flagship show on Raw and beat him. While it was a very stupid decision with the whole NXT Championship shit, the whole shit was just goofy. The point still stands.
Yeah. Yeah. I,
Mello and Braun are the two gold mines that they have. I think coming out of Mello winning the breakout tournament and Braun just popping up. You know, I forget when Braun showed up. I just know he was there one day. I totally forget where Braun came from. Oh, he fucked up. I totally
he
forget where Braun came from.
he was the and the only reason I know this is because it's my football team. He was the fullback, or he was on the practice squad of the Baltimore Ravens until we released him. I don't know why we fucking released him from the practice squad,
Yeah.
but we did. And then all of a
Thank
sudden, no, look, I honestly have to thank the Baltimore Ravens now because we got
you.
a fucking beast. Um,
The first episode
but
of
yeah,
NXT.
he debuted on the first episode of NXT 2.0.
Damn.
Because of well, there's no non-compete when it comes down to the oh god, what happened on football? What happened on Sunday Night Football? I'll go back to it.
The
What
Giants are
happened?
still in the game. The Giants are still in the game. They're
What
gonna
was
win
the score?
14-9.
Okay, so
The Bills missed the field goal. The field goal probably would have put them away, but they just
the
missed the
bill
field goal
so the Bills must have woke themselves up at halftime. Um,
a little bit.
but yeah, we released him from the practice squad of the Baltimore Ravens, and since there's no non-compete or whatever, he went to the world of pro wrestling, and he showed up on the first episode of NXT 2.0. And he's been there since then. But yeah, it's absolutely insane the way that Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes have just been going at it right now in this insane pace. Now, what I hope what I hope they don't do, they being WWE, and I don't know if I even mentioned this to you, but I know I mentioned it here on the channel before. And again, this is Twitter, so don't fucking take this with a grain of salt
Oh,
because people are idiots.
oh shit.
I hope what they don't do for Saudi, because there's a rumor of a tag team match happening right now in Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
Cena and Carmelo versus Braun and Taker.
Why would Taker team up with Braun?
That's exactly what I'm talking about because Twitter's fucking stupid and they're talking about that right now. Like
He just took Sam through the mat and they're just
you
cool.
legitimately chokeslammed him through the mat and now you're having them team with each other. It makes no freaking sense. But
They're probably into
apparently that's what people are thinking. That's what can happen in Saudi Arabia. I don't even want to see Undertaker go anywhere near Saudi Arabia again because of his thing with Goldberg.
it. And
Fuck that
never
shit.
again. Never the fuck again.
Don't show up in Saudi, Mark. We don't need you there. John, he can probably show up there. And we don't know if John will have a match there, but who knows? Just don't have that match. Point blank. Period. The fans were making that shit up. It's not really by any source or anything like that. The fans were just talking about it. So again, it's not happening. Take that shit with a grain of salt because it's not happening. I highly doubt that happens, but I hope, I hope that shit legitimately does not go out there into the universe and figure that shit out. Because man, that would be goddamn terrible.
Yeah, that would be kind of nasty. That would
Um,
be kind of nasty indeed.
but
Mhm.
but yeah, NXT, AEW, AEW is gonna be fine. They're gonna get back on track. They're gonna go back to their normal day on Wednesdays, and we're gonna see where things go from there. But NXT, they're doing their thing right now, and they're gonna stay on Tuesday nights for now. Who knows though? Let's talk about Survivor Series. Survivor Series happening in Chicago, Illinois. This is a good thing about Survivor Series live. I'm not talking about that other guy, okay?
Oh God.
Not talking about that guy until later on. We will talk about him, but not yet. Survivor Series last year had WarGames.
Oh shit.
And Love, we're bringing it back.
That's great news. It's
We're
fucking
bringing it
great.
back. Per Fightful Select. Survivor Series is on the horizon, and we've learned some news associated with it. Fightful Select has confirmed that as of this week, WarGames is being planned for WWE Survivor Series. In 2022, we saw the first ever main roster WWE WarGames matches in Boston, Massachusetts for both men and women taking places. So far, we've heard about the men's match that is being on the table and haven't heard anything, haven't heard one way or another. It was heavily implied that the Judgment Day would be involved in said match, but the details around that as of this far uh, have not been confirmed just yet. WWE Survivor Series takes place on November 25th at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. So the men's match right now is completely on the table, with the
Mm.
Judgment Day being heavily involved in it. The women's, we're still waiting on, but most likely could happen. I want to
Mm.
ask you. Obviously, you're happy about WarGames coming back. I'm very happy about WarGames coming back because WarGames, it should be a yearly thing moving forward for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
With the two general managers now being a thing. With Nick Aldis being the GM for SmackDown
Mm.
and Adam Pearce being the Monday Night Raw GM. And now he can't block me for calling him a general manager because he is legitimately a general manager now. Just wanted to get that out there. Do you want a Raw versus SmackDown possibility for a WarGames match, or do you want it to be storyline driven like we had last year? Because I'm perfectly fine with either, but I think storyline driven is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I don't think you do storyline driven at this point.
You don't do storyline driven?
I mean, I do storyline driven. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I don't think Raw and SmackDown is at that point where they're like battling because the shows coincide so much, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think storyline is the best way to go. Um, I think they will. I'm more so trying to figure out what they're gonna do with the women.
Yeah.
That's what I'm confused about. I don't know what the fuck.
I mean, I would like to see a Raw versus SmackDown in terms of that. Maybe you can do something like that
Really?
for the women. I mean,
I was
you
gonna
can
do like
possibly
main
see
roster
something
versus
like that.
NXT.
You can
I,
do
I,
NXT.
I want to do that.
Hell, we can do a we can do a three thing war games. I don't like that. Bring forth what was that 3-team war games match from NXT? I know there was like a 3 team war games in NXT back when NXT had the war games match. You could do NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown. I think that would be really cool to see for the women. Um,
Mm.
it just depends on whatever they want to do when it comes to that. But the women's is definitely something intriguing for sure. Um, but when it comes down to the men, how do you see it going down? Because with the Judgment Day and the Bloodline seemingly joining forces as of right now, it was 2019. Thank you. Bankrolls. How do you fare for the men's? And who would you put in there? Because Bloodline and Judgment Day seem to be, the heel side of things.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you can do
I think it'll be a 5-on-5. So go from there.
5v5. Fuck. Yeah, so that'll probably be Damian, Finn, Dom, Jimmy, and Solo versus Cody, LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking maybe Cena? Possibly, hopefully Cena. I hope. Whatever two would you put in there? Fucking I don't know whatever two faces you would put in there. Well, Jay. I don't think I said Jay. And I don't know who that fifth person would be for Cody's team. Yeah, Cody, Jay, Cena, Knight. I don't know. I don't know who that five person. That's what freaks me out.
Maybe AJ?
Styles?
You can do AJ if he came back from his injury. Or injury.
I mean,
Because
I
they took
feel
him
like,
out.
oh, they did. Oh, they definitely did. Oh,
Well,
they
the
did.
Bloodline took him out. So,
Yeah, they
from
might just
Cena's
do that.
partner.
They might just do that then. Yeah, that might be your way out. That might just be your way out.
But
Because
that
that's
fifth person is definitely something because of the other person that you were
yeah.
thinking of. You were thinking of him.
That was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, please don't, please
but
don't kill me.
but
Oh
I
no!
oh god, was it a flag? Was it a big play in a flag or something? What
He
happened?
threw a flag in the end zone. No way to give him pass interference for that. No shot. Oh my god!
It was PI,
The
GPI.
Giants
There
are
you
about to
go.
win. The Giants are about to win, dog. No fucking shot.
Oh my god. I wanted the Giants to go winless
Oh,
all year. That's what I wanted. But
the
damn.
Giants got a pass interference call in the end zone, so they're probably gonna get the
Oh,
ball.
they're gonna be on the one then.
Yeah, they got one play though. They gotta pull that Eagles play out the box, or they gonna miss. No way to
Oh,
get.
the brotherly shove, yeah.
Yeah, no way to get.
Because I got 2 possibilities for the men's war games match, and I wrote the shit down because I had to get. Oh god,
They lost.
they
They lost.
lost. They just got a touchdown.
No, the Bills won. The Bills won.
Oh,
Tyrod
oh,
threw
the
a pass.
Bills won.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bills won.
okay, okay.
God, that was close. Woo.
Um, I have to write this shit down in order to get like some possibilities for war games because there's way too many possibilities right now for the babyface side of things. The heel side of things, it's Judgment Day and Bloodline. That's happening. But
Yeah.
but the Judgment Day and Bloodline, and I'm talking Finn, Damian, and Dom with Solo and Jay or Jimmy versus the babyface side of things, which I could be seeing Sammy, KO, I know they're technically on two separate brands now, but you could do Sammy, KO, LA Knight, Cody, and Jay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good 5 right there. Or if you wanted to do um or if you wanted to do a 5-on-5 again, and if you want to have Roman and WarGames match, which I think is I think it's highly doubtful. I don't think WWE would want to put him in a WarGames match, but if they did, you could have done Roman, Solo, Jimmy, Finn, and Priest versus Cody, Jay, Sammy, KO, and LA Knight. Or you can swap LA Knight with AJ Styles or swap LA Knight with Cena or what have you. Because
Mm-hmm.
Cena and Reigns, you could do something like that because their interaction on Friday. There's a lot of things that they can do when it comes to War Games this year, and I think with War Games being back into the fold, I think it's going to be a great thing for Survivor Series because I truly do believe that it should be a yearly tradition. There's only so much you can do with a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match or a 7-on-7 or whatever. There's only so much you can do with that. You could do brand warfare, but the only way you should be able to do brand warfare is at 5-on-5. You should not be doing champ versus champ. Because that time when they were doing champion versus champion, one of the worst Survivor Series, or one of the worst concepts they could have done for it.
Dog, you have no idea how pissed I was when that Roman and Big E match pissed me
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
They already had E losing random matches on Raw, and they said, "Oh, you want to lose to Roman too?" Easily a way you could have put him back on top, beating the fucking Universal Champion. Nope.
yeah.
Once he
So
was
like,
dead.
5-on-5 is perfectly fine. I like having a 5-on-5, but you can do war games, and there's going to be a lot of things that they can do when it comes to um the babyface side of things. Cody is going to be in war games.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is going to be in war games because he wanted to be in war games last year.
Yeah,
but
he's probably gonna be in there.
but yeah, we'll see where things go from there. I think war games is going to be fantastic this year, and I absolutely
Yeah.
love that it's coming back. Now, on to Triple H. Because, man, it looks like Triple H is back in power.
Thank God. Oh,
In terms of him being head of creative, it looks like he is fully back in power. And, guys, I could not be more happy about that.
nah, I ain't gonna throw the celebration shit up yet because last time they fucked me. They fucked me good. They
Yeah,
had Vince retired, and then everything was cool, and then Vince just slid his way back in there. You ain't gonna fuck me again. I
yeah.
refuse. So I will say this: the Raw that just passed. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but the Raw that just passed, that felt like the most Triple H Raw we've had since like that first 4 week stretch of when like all the
100%.
returns happened. That was a Triple H ass Raw we watched on
And
last month.
and you can tell that season premiere Friday Night SmackDown, that had a lot of Triple H stuff there, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's good for it. Um, Per Fightful Select, things have been different on WWE Raw and SmackDown. In case if you haven't noticed, PW Insider reported that what Fightful had mentioned on our WWE Raw post show this past Monday, that things had appeared to be a little different on the surface. They expanded, saying there's been a bit of a morale boost associated with the line of thinking that Triple H is largely directing creative once again and not Vince McMahon. We can confirm that this is a significant prevailing belief within the company and that there's been a significant boost of optimism in recent weeks over the 8 or so months that have been preceding it. Locker room morale had hit an all-time low at the start of 2022, largely due to Vince's lack of creativity and direction, before recovering significantly under Triple H in the latter part of the year. Talent has not been outright told that Vince McMahon is no longer involved, and most of them were never outright told that Vince had been making changes after returning, though they all kind of had that in the back of their heads. In December, Vince McMahon had internally declared his interest of pushing back into the company to seek a sale. However, by February, Fightful was told by talent that McMahon's creative forces were being felt. It's
Pause.
worth,
Ugh,
yeah,
God.
it's worth noting that nobody within creative that we've spoken with worked directly with Vince in 2023, and he didn't sit in the creative meetings. Instead, he would usually make remote changes and submit them, often shortly before the show even started. One exception was the Raw after WrestleMania,
Oh,
which
God.
saw significant sweeping changes of the show, and we all know that that was one of the worst Raws of all time.
That was a bad night. Oh, fuck, that was a bad night.
That was so bad, man.
Oh, shit.
I remember we came onto this show and we just didn't even talk about the show like in the detail we normally do. We just said, fuck it. We're just gonna be mad.
That shit was the goofiest shit I've seen. Oh, fuck.
So
Oh,
we're told that over the last few weeks, even many of those late changes have stopped outside of ones that happened due to issues of medical clearances. Even then, word that we've received was that Vince McMahon's changes existed before then, but were fairly minimal, especially as compared to how things used to be. Regarding Vince being out, quote, for good,
mm,
unanimously, there was an, quote, I'll believe it when I see it approach for the talent and the staff, which I completely understand.
yeah.
um, WWE in an official capacity were adamant after McMahon's initial retirement that he would not be returning. Fightful had long heard that Endeavor looked upon Triple H fondly. Morale has been boosted over the last couple of weeks, starting in September on the September 25th episode of Monday Night Raw. Numerous WWE talent reached out to us about stories emerged today expressing the same sentiment. One WWE higher up told us, quote, I think you can take a look at the show. Johnny Gargano is back, but after his return was nixed. Tegan Knox is on the show. Dragon Lee is all over the program. Carlito is finally a factor. After being under contract for months, Cameron Grimes got back on TV. Bronson Reed is winning matches. Tag team titles and IC title matches are getting longer and ending the shows. I'm not going to say that all of those are a direct result of the situation, but all of these parts moving at the same time is a little too bit of a coincidence for me. End quote. Which I completely see where they're coming from, whoever this higher up is. Because those talents right there, that basically screams NXT Black and Gold.
Mm, mm, mm.
And those are his guys. All of those people that he mentioned right there were Triple H guys and girls. It's insane. So there you go. One WWE
Xia Li.
talent. Xia
They
Li.
showed, they showed Xia Li on TV, and I popped.
16 women, bro. 16 women were
It's just
featured on
backstage.
Monday Night Raw and backstage stuff. It's
Hunter,
insane.
Hunter, for the love of God, if Kaden and Katana aren't have Piper and Chelsea hold the championships until WrestleMania. Give Kaden and Katana that moment at fucking Mania.
I would love it.
Please build them up from now and just go.
They would
You
probably
can't
do a
have
fatal four-way tag team match, but still, I mean, have them win the titles at
please,
Mania. Um,
please.
one WWE talent said that their feeling was that most people on the roster felt a sense of relief when McMahon retired from both a morale and creative standpoint. They said that answering to Vince McMahon's behavior isn't what most of them signed up for, and beyond that, there wasn't a lot of creative confidence in him to begin with. And again, I can't fault them for that.
At all. At all.
McMahon settled a lawsuit with an ex-ref, Rita Chatterton, who accused him of, the whole. We all know what happened with the NDAs. I'll say that the NDA situation because he did the papers to basically get paid over $30 million in NDAs because of the whole situation. I can't say the R word on this program. You know what happened if you know it, huh?
I don't know what word it's talking about.
Look in the private chat.
I'm lost.
Look in the private chat, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't say that word on this program.
Oh yeah.
That's the situation that happened.
Just call him a freaky man. Just call him a freaky man.
He's a freaky frog, if you know what we're talking about.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. I'm watching WoW, and the fucking Tonga twins are going to retain. Or going to defend their championships. I mean,
I keep forgetting that WoW happens at like 11
bro.
o'clock.
I've been watching this shit for like 30 minutes. Oh, the dude. Oh shit.
Yeah. So Vince was a freaky frog back then. Back in the 1980s, which McMahon, lawyer, claimed he did to avoid the cost of litigation between settlements and other NDA payouts regarding the personal conduct, the sexual conduct stuff that he did. McMahon had paid out over $30 million after brazenly putting himself on TV for no reason after that. He was encouraged to retire and did for about 5 months before pushing his way back into the company. That carousel of McMahon himself also led to the carousel of his own daughter, Stephanie, leaving the company in 2022 while he was being investigated, only to return to fill the void that he left. She also left in 2023, just mere weeks before Vince declared that he was initially returning to the company. So that whole thing with Stephanie, and I still feel bad for Steph because Steph was going to be running things very well with Nick until things happen. So look, Triple H is back, and we can see that now comparing to what Raw and SmackDown were now to then. He's 99.99 there, right? But there's always that 0.01% chance that Vince is coming back. So look, Look, I'm not completely celebrating yet, but at the end of the day, Raw and SmackDown are becoming better, and I like that at the end of the day. Now, I know that was a very long report, and I get that, and I'm sorry about that. But WWE Raw has been getting better in terms of how the show has been being booked. It's still too long to me. 3 hours is still fucking a long ass time. But with more women being utilized, we're seeing guys like Bronson, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, Nakamura, Gunther, Bronson. I said Bronson, but guys like that being added into the fold. Storylines are being progressed. And, dude, we're seeing just a better overall feel for the show. Like I said, it's too damn long, the 3 hours to me.
Good
but
God.
it's still being booked better, and at least we're getting things going when it comes to storylines and it being progressed.
Yeah, I mean, that's all they got to do, man. Just change that stage, change those ropes, cut that hour for the love of God, and you got yourself some good Raw. You got yourself some good Raw right there. That's all you got. Just go back to the. You can go back to the fucking. I don't care if they go to the 9 p.m. and 11:05 thing. That shit was kind of lit. Go back to that
Well,
if you
yeah,
don't want to.
the 9 to 11. At least this are three. At least this are 2 hours.
Yeah, and leave the little 5 minutes of run because they always did something like stupid at the last 5 minutes. You could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a reason why Raw felt different back in 2008 and 9. You know,
Yeah.
even though they were still doing like you're always gonna have with every wrestling show. With at some point they throw in the filler stuff. You know,
Right.
but there wasn't that much filler stuff to fill because Triple H already said he hates booking that third hour because that period when you're watching Raw on the Eastern Standard Time when it's like 9:45, you're sitting there like, what the fuck? I still
Yep.
got mad show left to watch, and you shouldn't be watching. You shouldn't feel a feeling of dread while watching a wrestling show if you're a wrestling fan. And Raw
Right.
still is the only show that I'm sitting there watching it at 9:45, and I'm like, I don't feel like watching this shit no more. You know, because they barely do anything. And if they are doing something, I'm already tired because it's on for 3 hours. You know?
Yep.
Damn. My God. But they gotta they have to I don't know if they're ever gonna go back to that third hour. I guess they're making too much money with the commercials because they will commercial the fuck out of you. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I, that's just a hope. If they never change the stage, if they never change the ropes, just give me the third. Just take away that third hour, and I'll be a happy man. Please, that would be a great day. I remember back in fucking. It was during. Remember when we did the fucking Live and Ronda debate?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Nick
Oh
Khan,
yeah.
yeah, Nick Khan was on the interview and he joked about adding another hour to Raw. I almost fucking lost
No.
it.
Another hour to SmackDown.
No, never hour to Raw.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one where he was doing the 3 hours of SmackDown.
Nah, he said he made a joke about adding another hour to Raw, a 4 hour Raw. I was pissed. He's gonna laughing. I'm not laughing. That's funny. That's funny, bitch.
That's terrible. That's a terrible
4
idea.
hour Raw. If I turn on Raw and that just says 8 to midnight, I'm turning that show the hell off.
Dude, we still have to watch basically a Marvel movie every single Monday night.
That's what I'm saying. No,
4 hours would definitely be a Marvel movie, and the extra credit scenes.
I'm not watching 4 hours of Raw. I refuse. I don't give a damn about nothing. I'm not watching 4 hours of Raw.
I would never watch Raw ever again if it turned into 4 hours.
You know,
Never.
I would watch it. I would only watch it on recaps.
Well, I would only watch the clips on YouTube.
That's it. Whoever does those videos of like the 10-minute clips of Raw, I would just do that just to make sure I know what's going on. I'm not watching 4 hours of Raw.
No. Did you hear what Justin Barrasso said per Sports Illustrated?
No.
Raj Giri, shout out to Raj, on Twitter. He basically got the report from Sports Illustrated about what Justin Barrasso said about this whole thing about Triple H being in power. And he said the following per Raj Giri. Quote, multiple contacts within WWE and UFC have confirmed that Ari Emanuel, who wields power as the Endeavor CEO, is behind the change being Triple H in power. Emanuel has long been a firm believer that in order for an organization to be as effective as possible, people need to do the job that they are assigned to do. In that case, that in this case, that approach has empowered Levesque to exert his full influence in the company's creative sphere. End quote. Ari Emanuel is becoming, and well, that was the end quote. I was just reading what I was tweeting after that. But Ari Emanuel is basically spearheading Triple H being back in full power because, hello, he is the CEO of Endeavor, and he is allowing the people that were assigned to do whatever they were assigned to do. He basically got Triple H's job back at the end of the day. So Ari Emanuel is becoming one of my favorite people in that case because he's allowing what he was assigned to do He's getting it back into the fold, which is perfect.
I'm grateful as fuck. It's like
Ari Emanuel's becoming one of my favorite people now, man.
I thought I had to hate him, but I think he's all right with me right now. So I thought I
He's a
hated him.
smart businessman at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it as well.
um. So yeah, I mean, he's becoming one of my favorite people in that case because I mean, if you think about it, you gotta let the people that were supposed to be assigned to do these things do these things. Let him do the thing that he was assigned to do, and if things go to the worse, like if ratings are down or attendance is down, which I highly doubt could happen, you got that back pocket, and you got that back pocket, and that back pocket is Vince McMahon. But you don't ever need to go there if Triple H is going to continue doing what he's doing.
What the fuck is Vince gonna pull?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, Vince and Ari have been friends for over 25 years. You have that back pocket.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, dude, and we all know this. It was never about the sale of the freaking company. About why Vince is back. Vince was back because he sold it to his best friend of 25 plus years, and he was really probably the only person that could. He was going to be the only person he could sell it to in order to get back in WWE.
Yeah.
Because if he sold it to anybody else, he would not be not be in Providence to get back as quickly as he did.
Yeah.
So, I love it. I absolutely love it. And Triple H being back in power is a very, very good thing. I was gonna talk about the whole CM Punk WWE situation, but look, at the end of the day, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, good. If it does happen, I love chaos, but at the end of the day, it's a very chaotic situation, and nobody kind of wants. We can skip that story and go right to the WWE TV rights deal when it comes down to the weekly programming, like we were talking about earlier. Or if you have anything you want to talk about real quick, we can go to whatever you have.
Nah, nothing for me.
All right, so we can talk about this weekly schedule. The real reason why WWE did what they did when it came down to the whole Tuesday night thing. We talked about this a little earlier about how WWE could possibly be changing their programming in terms of like the actual weekly shows. Lof, you and I are basically kind of in the same belief that Monday Night Raw, well, the whole weekly shows could be changing in terms of days.
Yeah.
So,
I
what was your schedule looking like in terms of what you think could possibly happen when it comes to the TV rights deals? Because SmackDown is moving. It is moving. Not only just because of the network from Fox USA Network, but it definitely is going to be moving a day.
I mean, I really hope SmackDown doesn't move. I really don't want them to move. I really don't want them to, but it seems inevitable at this point. I don't know. But oh shit. But I think they're just gonna move everything down. Except I want to say
How would you book your WWE week if you were let's say the networks and you bought the entities of all the WWE products, Raw, NXT, and SmackDown? Where would you put them on the calendar?
NXT goes back to Wednesday.
Okay, so you're creating chaos. Okay, in that atmosphere.
That's the only thing
That's
I'm
cool.
changing. That's literally the only thing I'm changing.
That's literally okay. So you're just moving it to
channels. I would change channels. I would take SmackDown off of Fox probably and put them on NBC or something like that. Because of the whole Peacock stuff, I think I guess there's more.
Is that I don't know if that's cable. I don't know if that's a network.
That's network.
And what I mean by that is like everybody would have that channel compared to only
NBC is basically
because only certain people have USA Network.
Exactly. That's why you put every on NBC. Everyone has NBC if you have a satellite.
Yeah.
So like the way I watch Raw, I watch it through YouTube TV. 'Cause I don't have cable. I have YouTube
Right.
TV.
Right.
So when I watch SmackDown, I watch it from my satellite because it's on Fox. Fox is a local channel.
Fox is a
It's
local channel
around
here.
here. Yeah.
They're
So you put on
everywhere.
NBC, you put on NBC, now you just completely cut the cable thing, and now more people might watch SmackDown because it'll just be on. That's the way I found out what SmackDown was. 'Cause I didn't have cable back in the day.
Yeah.
So when I was 9, we didn't have cable. So I was just flipping through the channels on fucking satellite. I was like, oh shit, you know. So that could bring a whole new level of like people who never watched a SmackDown before. But keep
Yeah.
it on Friday. Monday Night Raw probably is never going to leave because the
You
longest
you
weekly
can't
episode.
change Monday Night Raw. It's legitimately the entity. They've been doing Mondays since 1993.
They
You
never say
can't
it.
do
I
that.
used to love that. They never say the longest weekly episodic television show in history of. I forget the end part, but
The longest weekly episodic television show in history.
that's
Monday
it.
Night
Yeah,
Raw.
they
And
never
SmackDown's
say
number
that.
2.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's
I know
number
that, but
two.
I'm just saying. But yeah, it's the 2.
They gotta that shit, man. I they may very well just streamline all that shit to USA.
I think it's probably just going to be all under one umbrella. To be completely fair,
I don't want
I know I know it's USA Network, and I know it's just it's not network TV, but it is under NBC Universal. They would still have the Peacock deal,
yeah.
and it is what it is. But SmackDown is definitely moving, and it's moving to the United. I was gonna say the United States of American Network. That is fucking terrible. But yeah, that is basically what it is. USA Network. Um, and NXT is being packaged with Monday Night Raw. So for the next TV rights deal, does NXT have a legit possibility to be on that same night as AEW permanently, like you're basically saying? Because, I
Yeah.
mean, with all that said, could both shows thrive under that heat of competition? Because we just saw with the Tuesday Night Wars, things are going to go crazy if it becomes a permanent thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no reason to not do it with Wednesday on NXT. Um, Raw, let's assume that doesn't go anywhere. 'Cause like we said, that's probably not going anywhere as far
It
as
is a
dates.
completely different era of NXT now compared to what it was.
Yeah, I definitely would put them on Wednesday. If you want to move, if you want to move SmackDown up to Thursday, maybe, but I don't think you have to. If you want to change Friday back to SmackDown back to Tuesday, I don't think you have to do that either. But SmackDown can go either way. I think it makes it easier for talent to travel if they just do Raw, SmackDown, NXT on 3 days straight through. So they very well might just cut costs and be like, all right, fuck that shit. Let's just put all three of them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, and then Thursday and Friday would just be open for Impact.
The house shows and
Yeah,
everything like that for
yeah,
WWE.
yeah, yeah.
And
And then
then
just put
Saturday and Sunday could be for their pay-per-views or whatever when it came down to
or
that.
what I've been asking for like gotta be at 2 years now. You add another wrestling show that's not really a wrestling show. You get Raw Talk, you get SmackDown Lowdown, or whatever the fuck. I guess is it Lowdown? I don't watch that shit. But
It's SmackDown
yeah,
Lowdown.
you
I
combine
don't
them
watch
and
it, but yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You combine them and you make the kayfabe Sports Center wrestling.
Dude, we would run that
Anyway,
shit like crazy.
you have all you have to do is get like Stone Cold, what, and Booker T, and then like have a whole panel of topics, but it's kayfabe surrounded.
But
So it's like they
it's
do.
around the stories of
Yeah.
WWE, and they would, they
So
would
they're
keep it kayfabe as always, but they
yeah,
would talk about it in the normal way of like a Sports Center type of deal,
yeah,
like a Mike and the Mad Dog
yeah. They're
type of
debating
deal.
about who's gonna win, Miz or fucking Bronson Reed, and they know who's going to win, but they're doing it as if they don't, and that's where that fourth wall comes in. And now you have more people who make you can show it on ESPN because they're all on Disney owns all of that shit, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
once you're under the NBC shit and all that, now you have an entire different there come your casual fans again. Because casual fans, some people I know in my life, they just watch ESPN all fucking day.
Right.
They never leave ESPN. So they watch the Sports Center. Next thing you know, fucking Raw Down is on. The Smack Live, wherever the fuck they call that shit. I don't know.
Right. But yeah, we get
Yeah,
it.
it's just 45 minutes of them having a kayfabe wrestling debate topic
And they
show.
used to have something like that though. It was like Scott Hansen, not well Scott Hansen. He's NFL Red Zone. Scott.
Mhm.
There was somebody. I know there's a Scott in WWE. Who the fuck is it? It's not Scott Armstrong. He's the fucking referee. He's the crooked ref. Who was that guy?
Evan, you're cooking.
Regardless, there was a show like that where they basically had all the topics that they were going over, and then all of a sudden it bled right into Monday Night Raw. They had somebody like that.
Stanford?
Is this Scott Sanford? Let me
Mm.
take Scott. There's a Scott. Yep, this is the fucker. Yep, look at him. Look at him. Look at this man. Look at him. Oh my god, look at this soul. Look at this beautiful soul. Yep, he's
He
that's
looks
just a white
cool
face.
when
That's just a white face. That's just a white face. Um, nope, you cannot even see him.
Oh, I've seen his face before. I don't know where I
Yeah,
saw it. He
he,
shows up at the pre-show sometimes, right?
yeah.
Okay.
He used to do the pre-shows all the time for WWE, and he even did some stuff in terms of he did do commentary for like a little short stint or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
back in like the 2010s or whatever. But yeah, I mean, he did his thing for a little bit. Um, and yeah, I mean, there was stuff like that. They did have something like that before, and then they just took it away for whatever reason.
They had Talking Smack, which was gold, and then they just threw that away.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking Smack was genius, and it's just like, ugh.
th- Point blank, the whole media ratio is a huge reason why they did what they did when it came down to NXT and their approach for things, because they wanted to prove that NXT is a viable third brand to buy. And that's basically what it is. Now, what I personally think could happen, and again, guys, I want you to guys be prepared for this because things like this could legitimately happen. And Lav and I are talking about this because it could legitimately change the whole landscape of how OTB is run at this point. When it came down to like the actual content creation of everything. I truly believe that all of the brands are going to be under one umbrella, and that is the USA Network. I truly believe that. And when it comes down to that, I think Monday Night Raw stays on Mondays. I do. I truly believe that. Well, I do believe that SmackDown is moving to Tuesdays. I think SmackDown is going to be the one to move. Truthfully. I think SmackDown's moving to Tuesdays. And then NXT, like you, I do believe that NXT is going to be moving back to Wednesday nights. I do. And we're going to be seeing that competition between AEW and NXT for the long haul. For however long the contracts are being used for. Because NXT is being packaged Raw. So, you have Monday Night Raw, you have Tuesday SmackDown, you have Wednesday's NXT. Those would be all WWE programming in terms of WWE TV. That way you'd have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sundays possibly for house shows and or the PLEs that happen. And you can just see where things come around when it comes to that. It's cost effective because it's only those first 3 shows. It's not like they have a crew for Monday Night Raw, a crew for NXT, and a crew for SmackDown. It's all basically one. So they'd be able to travel throughout the
Oh,
days. Huh?
I read Aiden's comment and I had a thought.
Oh,
What if what if they do that? What if SmackDown stays and then Raw and NXT just move down? But then that would lead to what
you
the
can't
fuck?
you can't have Monday Night. Like, I would not believe Monday Night Raw going to another day. I can't. Like
If they put Raw on Wednesday to combat the other flagship show, if they really want to do that shit,
AEW would be done.
I don't think they'll be
AEW would be
done.
done.
I'm thinking. I'm not Corbin. I'm not thinking Thursday Raw. I'm thinking of Wednesday Raw, Thursday NXT, Friday SmackDown. Because Raw pulls in a 1.6, I guess, every week. If
We're
they
doing
want to,
1.5, 1.6s, yeah,
yeah.
somewhere
If
around
they
there.
want to just continue to just be like, bitch, they might do that. I didn't even think about them moving. I was
Tony Khan would legitimately have to move AEW Dynamite because at the end of the day, Raw would cook Dynamite.
Well, yeah, I'm not even thinking about yeah, but
Raw would cook Dynamite, bro. Dynamite would be done. Dynamite would be done.
I don't know.
Tony Khan would have to do what Triple H did to NXT. NXT got moved to Tuesday nights because AEW was doing way better in the ratings compared to them. He'd have to move Dynamite.
And I'm also not a fan of two really big wrestling shows being on the same night.
On the same night.
For content creators, because now me and Phil are now talking about two shows.
Because here's the thing. If Dynamite and NXT are both going to be on Wednesday night because of the whole thing, what are we going to do?
And if Dynamite and Raw on the same show, then Raw's still 3 hours.
We're not I'm not going to be watching AEW and he's not going to be watching Raw or vice versa, and we're going to be doing the dual shows again. That was terrible. We can't do that. So
I don't watch Raw in the first place.
well, no, I'm just saying. I was just saying from what we did the last on Tuesday. That was bad.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean, it's just very weird because we don't know what could happen in terms of this channel based on these TV right deals.
Whole bunch of fucking streams.
But I do fully believe we're gonna have Monday Night Raw, Tuesday SmackDown, and then Wednesday NXT, and then the whole back end of the week could be for whatever they want. And it's all going to be happening like that most likely because of logistical reasons. I mean, it's easier for the talent. It's totally easier for the talent if you're going to be doing something like that. It's easier for the crew, and they basically did this as a test to see what could happen on Tuesday nights, and the three brands under all one umbrella, that being USA Network, to see what could legitimately happen.
Do you think that's gonna fuck with the pay-per-view schedule? Because I remember they said that they were thinking about going back to Sundays, and I hate that.
Oh, that could most likely happen with things going on when it comes down to the pay-per-views and everything like that. If Peacock does not pick them up again, once again, we could be seeing the pay-per-views go back to the $50 price tag and them being on the ESPN Plus, which would be terrible. Which would be fucking terrible.
They absolutely fucking not. HBO Max is about to get the AEW pay-per-views. That's gonna be a weight off my goddamn shoulders.
100%.
Please don't do that. I hope they don't do that.
It could happen. And the thing is, we all know that there are other means to watch these shows nowadays, but it could totally get to that point.
Some people have to work on Mondays, man. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
That Sunday shit is going. I hope they don't do that, man. That shit would suck. Fuck, man.
So I mean, it's definitely something that needs to be at least considered. Now, and this is another thing too that we could possibly be seeing when it comes down to this. If all of the shows are under one umbrella, again, the brand split couldn't necessarily be ending. It could technically end because Raw has their own roster. SmackDown has their own roster. Technically, I mean they do their thing whenever it does come down to it, but the brand split could possibly end, and we can have that one big roster once again, and so that because Fox, if USA Network got like a steel cage match or whatever, Fox wanted the same thing or whatever because they're petty BSs and everything like that. With the all under one umbrella thing, we could possibly be seeing now one big roster once again. And that could change championships. And it could be completely different. But if it changes championships, that means one of these world champions is not going to be a world champion anymore. And that world champion that's most likely not going to be a world champion anymore, I'm sorry, it's Seth Rollins.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He's fucked.
Yeah. So I mean, if that happens, things can happen in that way. Yeah, there's just a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts, and we're kind of just in a wait and see right now. But we know USA Network is having Friday Night SmackDown.
I'm saying right now, I have to turn on Wednesday Night Raw. If you're gonna move it to Raw, look, if you're gonna move Wednesday to Raw, at least give me the 2 hours. Don't give me the 3 hours. If you're gonna take Monday Night Raw from me and just put it on Wednesday,
put it back to 2.
Just give
put
me
it back
2.
to 2.
And then you really have a fucking. If you want to fucking beat up on AEW, cool, do it. Whatever, I don't care. Just don't give me 3 hours, please, God, please.
Like, because here's the thing, I like. How are we going to do this in terms of this channel? Because if we have Monday, like, let's just say if it went down in the schedule that I laid it out as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the rest of the week is basically free or whatever. We have Monday Night Raw, Tuesday, SmackDown, Wednesday, NXT or Dynamite, depending on whatever the fuck we choose. And again, we don't know what the fuck we're going to choose because at the end of the day, that's just going to be completely freaking wild. And then Thursday and Friday, we can either have off for, the OTB extras or whatever that could possibly happen then. And then Saturday and Sunday could be for pay-per-views or whatever. It seems better in the long run, but there's also Collision, which we barely even really talk about now, but Collision's getting a lot better now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. In terms of this channel, but I mean, I guess we kind of just have to roll with the punches when things officially do get announced.
Hey, Impact, listen, if they
or oh my gosh, and then if we add Impact to the fold for Thursday,
Impact, this is your move. Get the TV deal.
Get a TV deal, please. We would do Impact reviews.
Put that shit on fucking one of y'all, DPW, Impact. One of y'all go. If WWE opens up those last 2 days, for the love of God, Impact, DPW, fucking wow, go at a different time slot instead of fucking, what time is it? Damn near midnight on a Monday. One of y'all go to that 8 to 10 spot on primetime television for Friday. One of y'all. One of y'all, please.
Look, we can pick you guys up. That's cool.
If DPW gets a television fucking deal, I'm watching that shit every week.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, look,
I'm back on it.
Freaking Pulse, Danger, all those guys, dude. Did you watch the Chris Danger documentary, bro? Those guys that he was managing in DPW, they were fucking great. They were fucking fantastic.
Bro, that should be excellent. That should be excellent, bro. And this too. This is probably not going to happen, but this is just the way my brain works sometimes. Fucking
Chris Danger, I said, not Paul.
I think you said Pulse, and you thought you said Paul.
Pulse.
Yeah, Pulse.
CM Pulse.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time, man. That's hilarious.
Fantastic. Shout out to James.
But fucking, what was I saying? Oh, they probably will never do this. But for the love of everything, hear me out. Hear me. All women's wrestling show.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that, to be honest.
just 2 hours. They probably will never do it.
Right.
I would be a very happy person. Just no men, no dick, women, man. 2 hours.
Did you just say no dick?
Yes, no dick, man. Come on. women commentators, women refs. I'm making a TikTok about that tomorrow. We gotta get 2 women's commentators. Who we get women commentators? Fuck, AEW got Renee. Goddamn.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I would take Beth.
But Edge is in fucking AEW.
Who cares?
Yeah,
People work in different companies all the time.
So you got.
Dude, you have Jimmy and Naomi, or Trinity.
Oh shit.
Dude, you have so many people that are a part of different companies that are couples. That can happen.
Yeah. Now, I got that. You got to get all women ref. You got to. I don't know. You get 2 women as commentators.
Honestly, I would do. Imagine Mickey and Beth in a.
Oh fuck! Oh man! Oh.
Imagine Mickey and Beth on commentary, bro.
Oh man!
Woo. I mean, I don't think Mickey would ever come back to WWE because of what happened to her. Because fucking who was that guy? That fucking asshole.
Oh, the dude who's always on Total Divas. He was the leader of the fucking division. I forget his name.
Oh, Mark Carano? Yeah.
Yeah, that bitch. I hate
that
him.
Bitch.
I hate that motherfucker. Mark Carano.
Nah, Stu has to be the cameraman. I'm sorry. Stu would be the only male I would allow on that show. Stu is great.
Yeah, he gets through.
Keep Stu. Keep Stu as the cameraman.
Women's ref, 2 women commentators. No dick, man. Come on.
Keep
man.
Stu.
Then you could unveil women's mid-card title.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah.
Man. I think about that a lot. I really do. I watch WoW and fucking the other. I forget what other wrestling show. Fucking Shimmer. That's it.
You stayed up for that? That's a New Japan thing, right?
No, I watch that shit later on. I'll be watching it live.
Well, I was gonna say that, but I'm like, that's a New Japan type of thing, right? That's in Japan.
Yeah.
I was like, you stay up for that shit?
No, I do not. Last time I did that was when Mercedes debuted. That was it.
That's legitimately the last time I seen that shit. Regardless of whatever happens when it comes to the TV deals, and this is going to be our final statement because it is kind of getting later. I didn't expect it to be a 2-hour show, but this has been a great 2-hour show. WWE, whatever they are going to be doing, I'm going to be sitting on my hands waiting for that shit to be announced because things are going to be announced and things could be announced soon. And whenever that does happen, we're going to be right here. We're going to be talking about it because at the end of the day, it does really affect this channel a lot. Now, in terms of whatever they do when it comes down to all of that and how it affects AEW, we're going to be talking about it. Because you guys know I've been watching AEW since day one. I'm not leaving, AEW whenever it comes to watching the product. I think AEW is still a watchable product, even if people aren't really, too fond of it right now because of the person that runs it. But we'll talk about it, we'll get everything together, and we'll make sure to tell everybody about how we're going to be doing this because it's a big deal, man, because this could be changing the way we do things over here, and I don't want whatever this TV rights deal to be the end of the goddamn channel because we've been going so strong. We've been going so strong over the last 2.5, 3 years now. We're not stopping this. We got we're getting to episode 500.
We ain't stopping shit. This is gonna be a different time slide.
It's just gonna be a different mindset of how we have to carry over these shows. So no problem.
We're gonna be watching Raw one day, and Triple H is gonna come out. This will be the final Monday Night Raw, and then the crowd will go, "Oh shit!" Because we're moving to Wednesday, brother.
We're gonna be moving to Wednesday. Fuck Tony Khan. Fuck AEW.
Play the song.
They're gonna bring back Billy Gunn for that final episode of Monday Night Raw.
Oh shit!
And Vince is gonna come out that one time.
Oh no!
And he's gonna be like, "You're fired." He's like, "I don't even work for you anymore."
Nah, man, fuck that shit.
He's like, "Y'all can't fire me."
Oh my god!
He's like, look, my dad would buy that pissant company just to fire your ass again.
Do the whole shit. Just do the whole shit over again, man. Oh man, I'm saying that Wednesday Night Raw announcement gonna be crazy, dog. You get this special announcement. Nah,
I
go ahead.
legitimately can't see Monday Night Raw switching to a different night, but if it does happen, I mean, damn.
That's gonna be some weird shit. Wednesday Night Raw. That's like I gotta show you the picture of when someone switched the colors of Raw and SmackDown.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no, I saw that. It
I
was
felt like
bad.
I watched like a crime you witnessed it from.
I thought I was tripping. I thought I was tripping balls. I thought I like had some kind of like acid. I thought I was on some kind of acid trip. I was like,
I never want to
did
see
I?
red SmackDown in my life.
I'm like, did I just like take
Ugh,
some mushrooms or something like that before the show started? Because I'm like, bro,
fuck.
it's
No
insane.
Monday.
But
No,
I
no
mean, we're
Monday.
not.
Nah, Tony Khan go fucking change Dynamite to Monday. Then what?
Look, whatever happens, we're gonna be right here. We're gonna be talking about the whole thing, and we're going to be, just switching up the details about the whole thing. That's all. But it's something to be talked about, and this has been a great talk for 2 hours, man. I think this is something that I mean, I don't know if this could happen every single week, but man, if we can come on this show and just talk pro wrestling like this for, I mean, it could be a weekly thing. It just depends on how things go whenever it comes to like a Sunday or Saturday. But I would love to continue doing this, man. Just get some stories together again and just talk pro wrestling, man. Because other than the reviews and everything like that, this is pretty nice.
Hey man, but
Especially
yeah,
with the time slot too. We could possibly be doing this a lot earlier too. Like we could possibly get it into the eights or whatever.
yeah,
Because depending on whatever the Sunday night football game is, we can do this a lot earlier too.
yeah,
Yeah, this is fun, man. Getting things together and just talking with you. It's awesome.
Change some shit around.
It also depends on what stories come out here too, because a lot of stuff happened this week. So this was a big
Yeah.
week. Um, but hey, I'm down for Monday night Dynamite. That actually kind of goes hard, but I don't think they would ever do that.
What?
Well, Corbin said Monday Night Dynamite. Like that sounds
Yeah,
hard. Like that would sound hard in theory, but I don't think Tony Khan would want to compete with Monday Night Football. He doesn't go. He doesn't go to the football days because he doesn't want to compete with the NFL, which I completely understand. But Monday Night Raw has been competing with the NFL for for years.
This shit ain't no thing no more.
Here's the thing: you're gonna be competing with something.
Yeah,
You're gonna be competing with something.
I'd rather you compete with the other wrestling company than fucking. Well, actually, I know. I don't know. You probably get your ass whooped by Raw
Look,
more than you'll get your ass whooped by football. I think.
Dynamite was look. AEW was obviously one of the best things that could have happened to pro wrestling because it gave another avenue for people to work.
Yeah.
But you're going to be competing with whatever happens. So
Yeah, there's no
you got to
escaping
get
it.
over that hurdle at some point. But yes, Kristen, Tony Khan is a punk ass bitch for doing what he's doing on social media. And yes, I can say that because I am not on his payroll, like people think I am at times.
Hey,
Just
man.
because my name is Khan. Not really, but really. I remember when I got that name just associated with me, and it just had to stick. Did I ever tell you that story of how it stuck,
Yeah. You
or
gotta
how
change it.
or how I became Phil Khan?
You gotta change it now. I'm gonna call you Phil H.
Now, one person on a live when I was watching Dynamite said I looked like Tony Khan, and asked if I was his son.
That's a nut ass question.
And I said no. I was just big into AEW at the time, and I was basically becoming an AEW TikTok until things just, until I just kind of switched things up and talked about both companies. But yeah, no, I just saw that, I took that shit, and I became Phil Khan. And now everybody legitimately thinks that's my last name. It's not my last name.
You made it all your social media accounts. What the fuck? People didn't go think now. That's funny.
No, but all my social media handles are Philly Met _. All of them.
I thought
All
your
of them.
TikTok was Phil Khan.
The name that popped, the top name says Phil Khan.
Oh,
But
oh.
my actual handle is still Philly Matt _.
You gotta pick one, bro.
People just know me as Phil Khan.
You like the little dash in the middle, like Phil, we met dash Khan.
And you know what's crazy? Shout out to the Triple Threat Pod. They legitimately write Phil Khan on the on like the monthly gifts or whatever that they send out. They sent it to Phil Khan. They sent it to Phil Khan, and then all of a sudden, when we get the mail, Graham's like, "Phil, who is this Phil Khan guy?" I'm like, "That's me. That's nothing. Don't worry about it."
I'm Phil Khan. Still like you're a Spider-Man or some shit. It's my secret identity.
it's my alter ego, man.
That's some crazy shit.
But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely insane. But guys, that's it. That's all we gotta talk about. George is now going crazy. So Laf, if you have anything else to say, we can get out of here. I'll be right back.
Everybody for fucking Raw tomorrow? I'm ready for fucking Raw tomorrow. Season premiere. Oh, Gunther and Bronson next week. I mean tomorrow. That's gonna. Oh man, that's gonna be. Oh, I need that a main event. I need Gunther and Bronson to be main event. Oh man, I forgot about that match. Got Rhea and Shayna. Rhea's not defending the belt for what reason? I don't know. Possibly a Jade pop up. Hopefully, please. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to Raw, but they got some shit. They got some shit. I feel like I'm missing something else that's happening Raw tomorrow. I'm missing something else. I'm missing something else that they advertised. I don't think I cared much about it when I saw it, but they advertised something else that I'm missing. Ricochet? Oh yeah, Ricochet and Shinsuke in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Something like that, I think. So I don't know. The season premiere stuff is kind of crazy, but if it makes the shows more exciting, I don't give a fuck. Do it. I got a feeling they're making JD versus the main event. Oh god, Cody needs to stop doing that damn Cody cutter. Every time he does it, he just turns himself into a damn accordion. He needs to stop doing that, or just do it. I don't know how he can do it alone better. He does it with Jay's help. He just crinkles himself up. That makes me But Raw should be somewhat, and so hopefully they pump it up because of the season premiere. Hopefully they do that. So.
You want to know what's going on for Raw tomorrow?
I said 4 matches already, just off the top of my head. That I remember. The only one I really care about is Gunther and Bronson.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane.
Man.
So we got the main event nightmares and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on Finn and Damian for the tag titles again. We got Gunther and Bronson for the I was gonna say international title, Intercontinental Championship. Big meaty men slapping meat. Shinsuke and Ricochet. Try saying that 3 times fast. In a Falls Count Anywhere match. That's good. Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler 1-on-1. interesting. And those are the 4 matches that they have on the WWE Raw preview for WWE.com. But we also have a segment apparently between Drew and Seth apparently happening. So they're going to continue that for Crown Jewel. And yeah, I think that's what they got going on for right now. But yeah, that Gunther and Bronson stuff, that's going to be really, really good.
What's the percentage that the ropes are going to turn back to red tomorrow?
I'm probably gonna go with 0. I don't see it. They didn't change. They didn't change anything for SmackDown. I highly doubt they're gonna do anything for Raw.
One day.
I would want it, but man,
we gonna make it one
and
day.
see, even Corbin said 0.
Fuck, man. One day. Whenever they do that, I'm a bust. Whenever I turn on Raw and that shit's just red, oh
yeah,
that's gonna be a day.
And then when they change the stage, bro, oh boy,
they're never changing that. They are never changing the stage. I think the ropes have a better chance of changing than that stage.
Dude, it's just a big TV screen.
They're never gonna change it because it's so simplistic. The ropes are back there. That's why I get so mad. The stage is harder. I understand they can't make the stage. The stage is a whole bunch of
shit. No, don't do that shit. Nah. If they can change the ropes, they can change the freaking stage.
How long do you think it takes to change the ropes? I've watched them change the ropes before.
I've watched them change the ropes. I've watched them change the ring aprons. It's not that hard.
If that takes 15 minutes, how long do you think it takes to change the stage? Take that big LED screen off. Like, what kind of shit? That alone is not going to take it. I don't know how they do that. I've never even witnessed that happen.
Well, nobody's in the arena when they construct the stage. Nobody.
I need inside footage. I need someone to record how they do that. I've never seen that before. I need to know.
Nobody's in the arena when they construct the stage, which it would be very interesting to see what happens. But
I want to see that shit. Well, hold on. Before we go, if you had a chance to bring back one of the stages from like a certain era, which one would you bring back?
from yesteryear for the for Raw and SmackDown? I mean, man, like from the eras that I really watched professional wrestling, when it comes down to WWE, there really weren't extravagant changes when it comes to stages for Raw and SmackDown. The big extravagant stages were for the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
If anything, the stages that I would at least want to see be brought back are extravagant stuff for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Raw and SmackDown, I know the stages really aren't going to be changing. Because, like you said, the simplicity and everything like that is cost-effective, it's logistic-wise, they keep things simple. When I talk about change the stage, really, it would be cool to see a different stage for Raw and a different stage for SmackDown to make those shows feel different, but I'm really talking about the actual pay-per-views. But that's just the way I look at it. But, I mean, in terms of the actual stages for Raw and SmackDown, I mean, hell, we can do... honestly, I really wouldn't even really be too sure, because they weren't really all that too much more extravagant. I mean, I remember when they had a goddamn half pipe as a Raw stage.
Remember when Kevin Owens ran on it and jumped off?
He ran off that shit and jumped off it. Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
I don't even think that was supposed to happen.
That was... I remember losing it when he did that shit. That shit was nuts. I'm still a fan of the 2000. I'm such a fucking 2009 merchant, but
yeah,
I'm still fucking. Don't say yeah, Phil.
Well, we were all virgins at that time when it came down to that era because those were great times.
Bro.
We
I'm
didn't know
still
each
a
other,
fan.
but they were great times.
I'm still a fan of the Titantron. I miss the Titantron. Cause now they just say Tron sometimes. I miss the Titan. I miss that. I miss the raw thing up top and that like cylinder up top, and then the Tron, and then the thing on the bottom.
This,
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that's that shit, man. Oh fuck. That's that shit, man. I'm trying to tell you. That is that real wrestling, man. Oh fuck.
right here, this is an actual live action one of it.
I've never seen that live, and it looks so fucking cool. I love the lights. I've never seen that fucking light. By the time I went to a Raw, that shit was over with.
What
Mm.
was SmackDown basically the same stage? It was just the SmackDown stuff.
Yeah, but oh shit, goddamn. But to
SmackDown 2009 stage.
I
Yeah.
think
I mean,
yeah.
it was basically this. Yeah.
Oh, that was that shit too. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm Drew McIntyre. I just got a fucking flashback of Drew McIntyre for some reason. Oh man.
There was
That,
also this they did too. Yeah,
nah.
that like you
I
could do
missed the
something like
fucking
that.
logo. I missed the logo on the side. The
Yeah.
big thing. Oh man. Were you a fan of when they had the commentary table on that side? Like when they were
On
up
on the actual stage.
yeah.
I liked
When
the feel of it at times. I did, but I always liked it when they were actually near the action, like
Hmm.
near the actual ring.
Aiden, that's real. Bring back entrance videos. There's like 7 people that have them on the entire roster.
Oh yeah,
Bring back
now they legitimately just have like their names as their
that
entrance
shit.
video, and
Whack.
I was like,
People on YouTube just make tight. Roman had one on YouTube a while ago. I think everyone has one on YouTube a while. Like
yeah.
fucking
I mean, people make custom ones for the superstars nowadays, and they look fucking sick.
bring them back, man. I think Theory technically has one because his moves. Logan had one. Carmella had one, and I was pissed because she was the only one that had one. I was enraged when I saw that shit. She was
This
getting
was a
out.
Raw 2013 stage. I mean, they had the two walls right there, the thing, and then it was kind of like the modern one.
Yeah.
It,
Um,
this freaking stage for Raw was kind of whack at the time because it was like a half
oh yeah, I didn't like that one.
screen.
That was a really good Raw like era. I just did not. I didn't like that fucking design. I think Raw wasn't bad at that point, if I remember correctly.
What was that? I remember Raw when it had like an arch. Oh yeah, fucking 2016 when they had the arch.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That one was kind of
The,
crazy.
the arching one, yeah.
I forgot that one was kind of crazy. I forgot about that one. That was. I don't think that was even there for a long time.
Nah, they changed it after a week.
SmackDown got to keep those big things. The things. I don't know what they were with the bars or like the fucking 2016 SmackDown when they had those big bars on the stage.
The
The one that fucking fucked themselves up on.
this one.
No, not
But that was the 2016 stage.
was it 2017 then? SmackDown Live when they had this shit. I forget. I
SmackDown
don't know.
Live. It was the SmackDown Live stage. Yes, that's what I had.
What am I thinking of? 29. That was 2019. What the
This
fuck?
is 2016.
Look up the 2019 one then. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
2019 stage. The arches for the
That's
2019
it.
stage.
That's the
Yeah,
shit. That's
yeah.
the shit. My
They
my
they they took that shit away one weekend because I believe it was Tax Hardwood that tripped over one of those, and
That's
he cut his ankle.
so stupid, man.
They were
That was
making
it.
they were making their entrance or whatever, and then he tripped over the goddamn archway, and he cut his ankle.
Do you remember that night when fucking Cena came back to SmackDown and Fiend popped up at the end of the show?
Well, that was the pandemic, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh fuck. That was a. Oh man. That was some good
And
shit,
then they
man.
were just staring at each other, and then it faded to black, and then that was
I
it. That was
was
the only thing.
screaming.
I
I was
was like, you
that
can't just end it on that.
that fucking night. My TV went out, so I watched the last 30 minutes of SmackDown on my mom's iPad. I was in my room bugging when Bray popped up. Holy fuck!
I was like, you can't just end it like that. They're just staring at each other. What
Listen,
happened?
not until oh fuck, I was screaming. Oh shit, that shit was crazy. Whoa!
I will
I was trying
admit
to think about
I will admit some stuff in the pandemic era went hard. It just
it. It
sucked
had some
because there was
shit.
no fans.
It had some shit. Raw was fucking fucked, but SmackDown had some shit, man. Oh, that shit was new. That was real to me. That shit meant something to me, man. Oh, that shit meant something to me. Fuck. Oh, God. Quarantine SmackDown was kind of killing shit at some points. At some points.
I think they had like blue ropes for like 2 weeks, and then they just changed
Dog,
it to white again. I was like,
when Roman first
why?
popped up and he was having matches, oh fuck, that shit was crazy. When Roman was just having the match with Bryan and shit, oh,
Ugh.
how quickly everything went down. Oh man,
They
they
legitimately
can't.
changed it to white ropes ever since the pandemic. The pandemic had blue ropes, and then all of a sudden, they just changed them to white, and they never went back.
I watch Quarantine SmackDown sometimes just because Sasha Banks and Bailey, man, with that was like I feel like that was at the end. What time was that? That
What,
might have
their
been
walkout?
no
Their
when Sasha and
walkout?
Bailey were tag team champions.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that
That was like
was
Ultimate 2, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Fuck man. And they were just like calling out spots because the whole arena was just empty. Just you could hear them.
You can legitimately hear them talking out the spots, and it was wild like that.
That first night when Roman had the new song. Oh fuck.
Dude, I still
Oh,
think that song goes hard. I mean, I don't acknowledge it, man, but I still think that song is 100 times better than what it was. Um, but yeah, I mean, that first time when he actually like changed the music and everything like that, I was like, oh shit.
I still think that Bryan match is in my top 10 matches I've ever watched. Like sat there and watched all the way through.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Fuck man.
During the
Oh,
early I'm telling you guys right now. Here's the thing. I don't acknowledge the man now because he never shows the fuck up. But Roman Reigns during the early stages of the Tribal Chief stuff, I was digging that shit.
the match he had on Raw with Big E and I think it was Bob. I think it was a triple threat or a fatal four way. It might have been a triple threat. I can't.
Like you can't deny the early stuff of the Tribal Chief phase because the Tribal Chief stuff during the early days and everything like that, they were hitting on all cylinders when it came down to that stuff.
I think that's why I hit him so much now because they had me for a second. They had me,
Like
and then
they
they had me right here. And I was like, "Ah," and then it just plummeted, man.
the
Oh fuck!
stories that he was telling in the ring with the people that he was going up against in the early stages of his Universal Championship run were absolutely top notch stuff.
They had me, man. And then he beat Cena.
And then he just didn't show up after 2 years.
Oh fuck! They had me. The fucking the Edge feud when it was just him and Edge, and then Brian kept begging to be in the shit.
he, it was
Oh,
legitimately gonna turn into Fastlane again, where they said, "All right, Brian, if you beat the champion, you're gonna be inserted again," and that's what they did. Him and Cesaro were fucking great,
oh man. Oh wow.
dude.
That
The
was
early stages of his run were absolutely fantastic.
that Roman and Cesaro feud was kind of stupid, man. That shit was crazy. Oh, We could have had it all, man.
I want to see the list of his defenses again because, man, the list of his defenses. Oh, it's right here. I got it right here. His first defense against Jey Uso on Clash of Champions was stuff of like
Peak,
movies.
peak
Peak
shit,
stuff
man.
right there.
I was crying. That was that real shit.
I wanna okay. There we go. Um the Hell in a Cell 2022 match,
Oh,
2020 match with Jay. Dude, great stuff.
peak again.
TLC with Kevin Owens, I thought that was great.
I
I really
agree.
did. Um the Kevin Owens match at the Rumble in 2021.
That's where my
Incredible last man standing match. Incredible stuff.
that's where my plummet started. Right there. That's what it started from.
Really?
It wasn't there yet, but that's when I started to get mad because I hated the way that match ended. I hated that handcuff shit. Oh fuck.
Daniel Bryan at the Elimination Chamber 2021.
Mm.
Bryan won the Elimination Chamber to get to Roman later in the night. And
Mhm.
that's when people kind of were like, all right, he had a really good shot. And then all of a sudden things happen.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Bryan at Fastlane 2021, though, that was some good shit.
Good, great match, great match. I haven't watched it again, but great match.
Bryan and Edge in that was WrestleMania 30. I don't know why that 3 looks like a 2, but 37. That was a good triple threat, but they did the whole stacking and packing them
Ed
up
should
or
have
whatever
won
that
that.
was.
Ed should have won that match. I stand on that. Ed should have
Yeah,
won that. Fuck.
yeah.
Fuck.
Zazaro in Backlash 2021. Well,
Not
that
too
the SmackDown Bryan match, easily
good.
one of the
Fuck.
best matches that both of them have had in their career.
Fuck. You still
And that was
fuck.
Bryan's last match before he showed up in AEW at All Out.
Fuck. That
And
was
it,
Bryan Danielson in that match. I tell people that was Bryan Danielson.
that was Bryan Danielson. That was
That
Bryan
was that
Danielson.
real street shit, man. Fuck.
That's honestly the Bryan Danielson that we see nowadays in
Yes.
AEW.
Yes. Fuck.
Um, I remember the Rey Mysterio SmackDown match. That was inside Hell in a Cell because Raw had a steel cage match and SmackDown said, "Nah, we want fucking something better." And they're like, "All right, we'll give you Hell in a Cell," and that's why it was Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns inside Hell in a Cell.
That night when he yeeted Dom, just
Yeah,
said, "Wuss."
yeah. He just powerbombed him out of the
Yeah.
ring.
Oh shit. That was a crazy day.
Edge and Roman at Money in the Bank 2021.
Oh,
Incredible stuff.
oh fuck. And then at the end, oh shit.
Now, this list is only till Brock Lesnar's SummerSlam match in 22, but that's where this list just ends. So, we left off at Edge. They had John Cena in 2021. That's where you got mad at.
That was the end.
That's where you got mad at. And
You
that's
remember
when
when I
you
called you?
started to hate Roman Reigns.
You remember when I called you when Cena came back and I was sobbing my eyes out?
Yeah.
That was what.
Well, he came back at Money in the Bank.
Yeah. And then the next, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. You took that moment and then you stole it from me.
SummerSlam 2021 is the true date that Loff started to hate Roman Reigns. I mean, he was getting there, like he was slowly getting there, but at that point in time when Cena lost, he's like, all right, yeah, no, fuck this
That
guy.
was the last bullet.
Yeah.
I let him slide. That was the last bullet. That was
Yeah.
the last bullet. I'm so happy he didn't fight Jeff. I'm so happy Jeff left.
I was still okay. I was still okay up until this point, and you guys know when I started to hate it. You guys know. If you guys have been watching the channel over the last like 3 years. So I was still okay at this point. I knew what was going to happen at the end of this. So I was fine with this. They had Finn Balor on Friday Night SmackDown. That wasn't the worst of it for Finn Balor's time. The worst of it was Extreme Rules 2021, where they basically cut the ropes and then he fucking died. That I was like, all right, dude, we don't need to go that far now.
You cannot do all that shit for Finn at the end and then I thought that was it. I was ready for Finn to win that fucking match. Man.
At that point, I was legitimately getting frustrated. I'm like, all right, this is bullshit now.
That shit was so cool. He put Roman through the table. I was losing it, dog. I thought that was it.
Brock Lesnar, a crown jewel. It was good for what it was, but it was another Brock Lesnar match.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn on Friday Night SmackDown. I kind of remember when that happened.
That was the quick one. I think Sammy got like beat up before that.
That was the quick one because they did Seth Rollins and at the Rumble 2022. Seth, he won by disqualification. That was the first loss of Roman Reigns as a Tribal Chief, but he didn't win the title.
That grill shit too.
That pissed me off.
Fuck, man.
And it was Goldberg at Elimination Chamber 22.
God.
And then Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2022. And that's the end of this list. But, I mean, most of these defenses were really fucking good. And then things just went downhill.
The Logan Paul match, excellent. Like,
the Logan Paul match is great. Logan Paul had really no business being in that match, but Roman made him look like $1 million, and Logan proved to everybody that night that he could do this thing for real. The thing that ended it for me,
stupendous.
And Loff, you know this.
Oh God!
Tell everybody when it ended for me. My God, that shit.
It was Mania, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for some reason I thought it was earlier. For some reason I thought it was earlier, but I didn't know.
Well, sure. I mean, dude, I mean, like what? Oh wait, no, it didn't. There wasn't an end there. SummerSlam 2022. That was Brock Lesnar. Clash of the Champions 2022. Clash of the Castle 2022. Drew should have fucking won that thing.
Drew should have won the match. Oh, fuck.
Drew should have won that thing.
And then he sung with Tyson Fury after getting fucked by fucking Solo. Like, you got to be kidding me. Now he's singing the song? No.
Logan Paul at Crown Jewel 2022. Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble 2023. Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber 2023.
That Sami match, man, it was crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people wanted Sami to win that match. I knew he wasn't winning that match.
Never should have.
What was Oh wait, WrestleMania. Oh, see, no, it was WrestleMania. Nope, you were wrong about the year, Lop. It wasn't 39. It was 38 when they unified the actual championships.
Yeah, that was a bad night.
When they unified the actual championships and have him become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, and then he didn't really start to not show up until that point. That's when I'm like, all right, we gotta fucking do something about this now. WrestleMania 38. WrestleMania 38 was the day when they finally unified the titles. I thought unifying the titles was going to be a good thing until I was proven wrong by what Roman Reigns and WWE did with it. Having one world champion I thought was going to be a good thing. That way they can travel to both shows and we can have multiple people, go after the one champion and, make something happen, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do it in the way that I was thinking they were going to do it. And again, that's my fault because I'm thinking in my way and not the WWE's way. But then again, we had no idea what was going to happen. So WrestleMania 38 was the day that I started to be in the same boat as Loff. He finally picked me up at the harbor.
I knew it was a matter of time. I'll be waiting.
It was only a matter of time. I knew I was going to be able to get on that boat eventually, but they just had to make one giant loop around.
Everyone comes around one day.
But yeah, WrestleMania 38, that was the day. And I mean, hell, that WrestleMania was not even that bad.
Not really.
Yeah, WrestleMania was not even really that bad. I mean, you take a look at all the stuff that was happening.
We haven't
Well,
had a
yeah.
real.
Well, WrestleMania 38. That was when Cody returned. So I was just super happy with that shit.
We haven't had a great WrestleMania like all the way through since like fucking 24, I think.
Well, I
I
liked WrestleMania 30. It was just the Undertaker's streak ending that.
see like that. I think of that and it completely throws the whole show. Like we gonna talk about that later on. Like
We can
further.
talk about WrestleManias, for sure. I just want to come back to this channel and just talk pro wrestling, because this is honestly where we are at our best. I mean, yes, sure, the reviews and everything are cool and everything like that, but expanding it to stuff like this is cool.
You wanna do that on Tuesday? We'll
We
talk
can do
about WrestleMania and shit.
we can do it for Tuesdays, yeah. Like
I'm ready to slander 25, even though that's my favorite WrestleMania. I'll still slander it.
you can still slander WrestleMania
I,
25.
I love it so much, but it's some fuck shit that fucking show.
now,
25 and 27.
Now, Corbin, when you say nasty, do you mean nasty in a good way or nasty in a bad way? Because nasty could be.
I think he means bad. I'm pretty sure he means bad. If you use it the same way I use it, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's bad.
Because WrestleMania 34, I mean that's usually that's usually known as one of the worst WrestleManias. So bad.
What was
Okay.
it about 34?
WrestleMania 34, the main event of that was Brock and Roman for the Universal title.
The red one.
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, that was when Braun Strowman and Nicholas teamed up against the Bar.
Oh yeah, no.
Down
wait,
and that
which
and
which one?
AJ and Shinsuke face each other for the WWE title.
That was their bad match. That one wasn't good.
I believe. Well, AJ won, but I mean, I think Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble that year. I think
Yeah.
because I believe Shinsuke had the low blow gimmick.
Yep. Okay, I remember that now. Yep. Yep.
Um,
And one of the matches just ended in a double John, double count out because of
I
low
remember
blow.
this. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon defeated Sammy and KO.
God, Taker and Cena. I was hyped during that Taker and Cena match.
Had Sammy and KO won, they would have been rehired to Friday Night SmackDown. I didn't remember that stipulation.
Oh, I remember when they were going around trying to get the
Oh,
that's
that's right. And then that was when Kurt Angle said, "But I hear TNA is hiring."
I popped for that shit. I was like, oh shit, he said it. Oh, he said the thing.
Undertaker and Cena happened for 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Cena, when the dude walked over to Cena, he sprinted backstage. That shit was hilarious.
So I was listening to the Chris Van Vliet interview with the Undertaker, right? And they were talking about that match.
Yeah.
And he was preparing for like a 30, 35, 40-minute banger with Cena. Like he was training for that hard of a match, right?
Yeah.
He gets to backstage in Gorilla that day. And they're going over everything. And he's looking at like the match listings and everything like that. And he saw that the match is only going to be 3 minutes long. And he's like, Bruce, where's Vince? I gotta talk to this man. He's like, where's Cena? Does Cena know about this? And he's like, yeah, he knows about this. He's actually talking with Vince right now. You want to go talk to him? He's like, yeah, I gotta go talk to them. So he's talking to these people, and they're like, no, we're not doing this. I prepared for like an actual match with this guy. And Cena's like, nah, man, I talked mad shit about you. You gotta squash me and get this over with. You just gotta do it. He's like, no, man, like that's not what I prepared for. I'm not going out there unless we get at least 30 minutes. And Vince is like, no,
It's not working.
you gotta squash him. And that's what happened. It was 2 minutes 45 seconds, but he was like, nah, I'm not doing this until I get like 30 minutes. He was preparing for an absolute banger with Cena at that Mania. It just didn't happen.
Mm.
Watch that clip back, man. I'll send you a clip of that interview with that part because, man, he was preparing for that shit.
Where would you have had Cena fight Undertaker then? Because obviously Cena and Undertaker should have fought in their prime. I still think, but then if you take Cena out of
Honestly,
WrestleMania 5,
look,
then it's like you get rid of Shawn and Taker, and that's
to
no.
me, I thought WrestleMania 30 could have been a really a really good spot for them.
Really?
Now, well, 30 years of WrestleMania, John Cena, Undertaker, two of the biggest superstars in their eras, all that kind of a thing. WrestleMania 30, dude, that would have been a perfect destination for it. Now, again, I would have had Undertaker retire on top with the streak intact. Obviously,
Yeah.
Taker
Yeah.
would win.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought that would have been the perfect destination for it. Seriously. Because Cena was still doing his thing at the time. I mean, it wasn't full on, but Cena was still doing his thing. And Undertaker, he would have been retired on top. Because WrestleMania 34 was way too late.
At that point, they started to fuck it, and then after he lost to Brock, I feel like it just spiraled out of control. Because then he fought Bray. I think he beat Bray. And then Roman beat him for no reason. That might have been the day I started hating Roman. I was
Dude,
pissed
if
when he
they
beat Roman.
turned Roman heel that night after WrestleMania,
You had it right there.
it would not have been a problem with him.
Oh my god, I was enraged when he won that shit because that didn't make any sense. He just beat him just to get pushed. No one has ever given me a legitimate reason on why Roman beat Undertaker that night besides mega push. Because nothing connected afterwards. He went back to what he was doing before, both after that match. There was no continuity. He didn't use that as a trampoline to do something else. He beat him and then went back to what he was doing before the match. I'm like, what the fuck? What did we do this for? You had it right there. You could have had a whole 2017 run to fix everything.
The man is 25-2 at WrestleManias now because of that shit.
Brock and Roman being those two people is absolutely nasty work. That is diabolical.
He beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31. He beat Shane in the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 32. WrestleMania 33, Roman won.
Yeah.
He beat Cena at 34. And then he beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36 in the Boneyard match because he didn't have a WrestleMania 35 match.
Yeah.
And then he retired in 2022. Or, well, in 2020 interview following his retirement. Yeah. So, I mean, in 2020, and then that was it. So,
Jeff should have fought him in 2008.
that would have been insane.
That would have been fucking crazy, man. Holy shit! And Jeff and Undertaker have fucking. I'm sorry, I'm being a Jeff Hardy merchant again, but I'm oh my god, 2008 Jeff and 2008 Undertaker. Are you dumb? Two mega. Oh my god. Oh. Well, I don't know what the fuck. What was Jeff doing in 2008? Probably CM Punk stuff. That was 2009. What the fuck was he doing in 2008? I don't remember. Oh, I'm thinking of like the fucking illegitimate son shit, but that was earlier. That was like 2007.
I thought that was Hornswoggle.
Yeah, but I remember one week they thought it was Jeff, and Jeff like celebrated like he just saw God. Hell, fucking yeah. Praise the Lord, yeah.
Jeffrey McMahon. Dude, that would have been terrible. Oh my god.
That's it. Sting and Undertaker. Sting and Undertaker was supposed to
Dude,
happen. Fucked it. They fucked
I
it hard.
always thought, with the whole ain't no grave, well, the ain't no grave stuff, and then, the Shaq in the rain and all that kind of a stuff, that was always meant for fucking Sting. Always. And that turned out to be Triple H, and I think it was 28 or whatever. But Sting and Undertaker was supposed to happen. And then I think Sting kind of like, I think he extended his time in Impact or whatever, or whatever was happening with him in pro wrestling at the time. Because that whole thing with the Shack and the Rain and all that kind of stuff and Ain't No Grave, that was all Sting. That was supposed to be Sting.
Oh my body down.
It's so good, man. So freaking good.
Ain't no way.
Well, it was planned for WrestleMania 27, right? And then things happen.
But that 4 match stretch of Shawn, Triple H, man.
Well, WrestleMania 25 was Shawn. WrestleMania 26 was Shawn. 27 Triple H. 28 Triple H. 28 was the end of an era.
That's one of the best 4 match stretches of all time.
Easily.
That is a 4 match stretch right there.
Easily.
There was not a that was 4 5-star matches back to back to back to back. That's why I don't have conversations with people when they say Undertaker is not anything but damn near top 3, if not top 2 or 1. Because you cannot have 4 fucking bangers like that.
Yeah.
You cannot. That doesn't even make any sense. And each one somehow I don't even know how to rank those matches. I think the end of an era was the best one just because I thought for a split second I would have been cool.
Dude, when he got hit with a super kick and then the pedigree, 1, 2, oh, so freaking close, man. I was like, how? How the fuck do you do that? You know when Shawn Michaels was like, oh my.
That was how you.
That was me. That was me.
That was how you break a fucking streak. That would have been. Oh.
That should have been the ending of the match. I would not have been mad at that if that was.
That would have been. That's how you break that shit. But no, that match was crazy all the way to the end.
I'm gonna watch that match tonight. Like as soon as we get off here, I'm gonna watch that match now because that match is so good.
I gotta watch their first one. I haven't watched the first one in a long time.
What are you talking about? Triple H or Shawn?
Triple H.
Triple H, the 27 one. Okay, yeah.
That one was fucking crazy. They almost died in that one.
Yeah.
I feel like that one. I still think that one was like a lot more brutal than the Hell in a Cell one. That one.
Well, the Hell in a Cell was mainly because of the story between Undertaker, Shawn, and Triple H. That was the whole basis of that thing. But WrestleMania 27 with Triple H solely, that was like a blood type feud there. Because Triple H was basically saying to Shawn, look, I'm going to do what you couldn't fucking do last year.
Man, that was before. That was before Dirt Sheets. I was just watching shit just for the vibes, man. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. What year was WrestleMania 27? WrestleMania 25 was 2009. WrestleMania 26 was 2010. So it was probably 2011?
Mm-hmm. 2011.
Yeah. That was 1 year, and that was 1 year into my 1 to 2 years into watching my pro wrestling journey. I didn't know shit.
Rock and Cena around that time?
2011. 2000, dude.
Maybe in 2011, they had a year, they had a stretch, man. 2011 and 2012 was fucking crazy.
Dude, I was 13 at the time. I didn't give a shit about actual dirt sheets or anything like that. I didn't even know those were things. I was just watching just to watch and just enjoying the shit.
Just chilling, man.
I was 13 years old.
I know there's a video like talking about 2012 WWE. That shit was ridiculous, man. I think that was around that time. I wanted Cena to get his ass beat by fucking Rock. I don't know why I was on Team Rock, and then I switched like halfway through.
Oh, I was on Team Cena the whole way. I mean, I was such a big Cena merchant at the time, man.
I was hyped when Rock was doing like, I think when they were in Massachusetts and he was doing the when he was like walking around the city, he had like the cutout of Cena. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know where it flipped.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I liked both of them at the time because because I was only 13 years old and I really didn't know The Rock was a wrestler at that time.
Yeah.
My father and I were just watching this shit together, and he was telling me about The Rock and how all that kind of a thing because he was watching during his time of the stuff, and I was learning up on that shit. So I was kind of a fan of both at the time, but I was
Yeah.
way more of a thing for Cena because I've been seeing Cena most of the time. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it's such a fucking good time, man. Like, dude, I
That is
miss those days, man. I seriously miss those days where I just did not give a single shit about, the dirt sheets or anything like that, and I just watched.
the website was crazy. WWE magazine. The video games were
Like,
perfection.
I'm super happy that I'm so knowledgeable about the world of pro wrestling nowadays because we're all just so knowledgeable about the business now. But that also is a detriment to the product because now we know so much about the product that it's like
Yeah.
there's nothing more exciting anymore.
When I was younger, that this shit would I still get an unbelievable amount of excitement from it, but like 9-year-old me would be elated to be like going to like WrestleMania. Like I'm still extremely hyped
The,
now. Like 9-year-old me would have like passed out.
being a kid in this era of professional wrestling right now must be the coolest fucking thing.
You think so? I think the kids did not get. I don't think the kids are getting what we got in
Well,
like 20.
but they're not fully getting what we got back then. But in terms of what is going on in terms of all companies around the world right now, with the actual ways of storylines getting better in
Mm,
terms of brands and everything like that,
I don't
there's
know.
no time to be a th- there's no better time to be a pro wrestling fan than right now. Like I am not like terrified to tell somebody I'm a pro wrestling fan nowadays because of how great stuff has
Yeah,
been.
I used to be. I definitely do
Like
not
I
say that shit.
like back then I used to be terrified telling somebody I was a pro wrestling fan.
That shit was not a conversation.
But now, because of how good things are going, I'm not that like I got my friends that were into pro wrestling back then back into pro wrestling right now because of what's been going on. And now our group chat is going crazy every single day about the shit. Like
I, there's
it's
something
insane.
missing. I guess that's what's missing. I guess that's just that the ignorance is missing,
Well,
and I miss the ignorance
we're
because it
all
was
older now. So we
yeah
all know more about this stuff. If we didn't know about this stuff like we did back then,
yeah. That's probably what I missed the most, just not knowing, and the not knowing wasn't bad because I was fine with not knowing. I was fine with
yeah,
knowing what I knew, and what
yeah,
I knew was this shit is crazy. That's all I need to know, you
right,
know.
yeah. Um, yeah. We talked about an hour of just random stuff, which is cool.
Oh shit,
Um,
yeah.
it's a 3 hour show now instead of see we just went to Monday Night Raw.
What the fuck? Monday Night Raw, man.
We just did a Monday Night Raw podcast for you guys. I'm
We just
sorry.
went raw. Me and Phil just went raw.
Ugh!
No,
That was
no. What
bad.
the fuck? Nah, nah,
That was bad.
hell nah. No, man. No. Cut the camera off.
Rah!
No, don't scream after that. That was a crazy emote, man. Come on. The fuck? Oh god. Turn the damn camera off. I gotta go to bed after that one. Shit.
Rah!
Nah, man. Oh
That was
god.
freaky. Look, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll definitely get back into doing more of this kind of stuff because this kind of stuff was fun. Um, look, man, if you ever want to just go raw
No, I
again.
don't want to go raw anymore. I want to go raw anymore. No more raw. Damn, man.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of the night. Go to fucking sleep, please. I'm gonna do the exact same thing after I'm done watching a WrestleMania match or whatever. Um, we'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw should be pretty good. And we'll start a whole new week of content right here on the channel. If there's there's not anything else completely monumental about this week, I think we're gonna be okay. But yeah, this coming Friday will be the first real show of Nick Aldis as GM, so that's interesting. And this is the first Monday Night Raw with Adam Pearce as the full general manager of Monday Night Raw, so he can't fucking block me now.
And we get to see what Cody, what his final decree was on NXT, whatever that meant.
Oh yeah,
I
he'll
care about that.
he's going to NXT again. That's a straight dig to AEW. I'm sorry, bro. The way that he started NXT on Tuesday as a direct dig to AEW because he was a former EVP, and he's probably going to do the same thing again.
That's right. Fuck that shit.
He created the company, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we're gonna have you start this shit."
That's what I'm talking about. That's that real shit. Fight back.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of the night. We'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, and we'll talk to you then. Have a good night, guys. Peace.